Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube live stream. I'm Michael Spinella, and I'm the host of the Canadiens Connection podcast. And I'll be your host for this THN live stream. Montreal versus Tampa Bay Lightning here on November 7th. It's a Tuesday night. Puck drop is underway pretty soon. Just make sure you're subscribed to our podcast. You can find the Canadiens Connection podcast on any of your favorite podcasting apps, and you can find us at CanadiensConnection.fm. With me in the studio is actually one of my Rocket Sports Media colleagues, Nathan. He helps us take care of a lot of the social medias. You can find all of our content at thn.com/Montreal. That's the Hockey News Montreal, where we cover everything Montreal Canadiens. And you can follow us at Rocket Sports. And Nathan, how are you doing tonight? Are you excited for this game?
Yeah, hey Michael, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And it was a a gloomy Tuesday, but I'm excited to see Tampa take on the Montreal Canadiens, and hopefully we come out with a win tonight for sure.
Absolutely. So just a reminder here, we do have a chat going on. Feel free to add your comments to the chat. And Nathan, I believe we're going to have a little bit of a bragging rights kind of, I guess, of a game going on and some predictions.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to hear from the viewers on who's going to score that goal first, or what team's going to score first as well. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to interacting with the viewers and watching the game together.
We got Dylan hopping in right away with his prediction for the game. He's predicting a Habs win 4-3 in overtime. I like this prediction. I appreciate that, Dylan. So keep sending those in. Let us know your thoughts on the game. So tonight, few lineup notes just a few minutes before puck drop here. Jake Allen's going to be taking the net for the Montreal Canadiens. He's been off to a great start so far in the early season. He's 3-1-1 with a .927 save percentage and a .272 goals against average. Taking the net for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's Matt Tompkins. Just his third start this season. He's 0-2 so far. .891 save percentage with a .361 goals against average. Tampa Bay currently on the second half of a back-to-back. Montreal's not had a whole lot of luck in those situations, playing against teams on the second half of a back-to-back. So this is going to be a very interesting game right now with the goalie matchup. Jake Allen's been awesome. Matt Tompkins kind of struggled. What are your thoughts on this, Nathan?
Yeah, I mean, for the goalie matchups, like you said, Jake Allen has been phenomenal for us. The last few games he's played, putting up great numbers. As for Tompkins, it's, like he said, he's 0-2 and he's looking to get that first win of the season. I agree. It's going to be an interesting night. Montreal's had not the best luck on a back-to-back when they're playing a team that's played the night before, but we'll see how they do against the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight.
The Tampa Bay Lightning last night with a 6-5 loss to the Toronto Maple Leafs in overtime. That one went late, kind of a crazy game. At one point, the Tampa Bay Lightning scored 4 straight goals, just all offense. And Jonas Johansson, who was in net for the Tampa Bay Lightning last night, he's had a good start to the season, but he definitely struggled. Where do you think Tampa went wrong against the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Yeah, you know what, Michael, I think, they got off to a hot start, Tampa Bay did, but I think what happened is they got a little complacent a little bit, just, got a little too comfortable playing the game, and which allowed Montreal or Toronto to get back on in the game and eventually beat them in overtime.
Yeah, absolutely. The Montreal Canadiens, their last game was this past Saturday against the St. Louis Blues, and they lose, what was it, 6-4, I believe? 6-4, and just a crazy game again. Just a ton of offense for both teams. Montembeault was in net for that one. He struggled quite a bit. What was your thoughts on that last game for Montreal?
Yeah, I mean, that last game, I think Montreal would like to forget about it. It wasn't their best game of the season. Like you said, Montembeault did struggle, but I think it was somewhat of a team effort where we struggled as a whole as a team. Specific players not playing to their strengths, but looking forward to Montreal having that bounce back game tonight against the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Absolutely. And just a reminder here, we did have Dylan who hopped into the chat. I see a few people coming in and out here viewing with us. Feel free to send any comments and questions in the chat, and we want to know your predictions for the game. But most importantly, we want to know, who do you think is going to score first, the team and the player? Send that in the chat. We'll give you a little bit of love, and we'll talk about this along the way. Just a few more minutes before we get to the puck drop. Nathan, do you have any predictions for tonight's game?
Yeah, predictions. You know what? I think it's going to be. I'm going to kind of go same route as Dylan. It's going to be a 5-3 win for the Montreal Canadiens, with Montreal being up 4-3 in the third period and getting that empty net goal to make it a 5-3 game. I think Montreal is going to have a strong game tonight against Tampa. What are your predictions, Michael?
You know what? I think I'm going to ride off of Amy Johnson right here, predicting a Tampa Bay Lightning win 6-4. I agree with this one. I think Tampa Bay just has too many offensive threats. Montreal's going to have some struggling to attain them. I think that Tampa Bay has some weak goaltending in net tonight, so I think at least 10 goals between the two teams. And thank you very much for that one, Amy Johnson, and giving us a little bit of love. Amy Johnson's actually our Rocket Sports Media colleague. She does an awesome job over on our YouTube channel. Just search at All Habs on YouTube and you can pull that up. Hit the subscribe button. She hosts a couple shows throughout the week, the Rocket Hockey Report and the Habs Hockey Report, covering both the Montreal Canadiens and the Laval Rockets. So make sure you head over there and check out Amy Johnson's content. She does a wonderful job on that one. Still coming up a few minutes from the puck drop. A few more lineup notes for Montreal Canadiens out long term, both Kirby Dach and David Savard. And for the Tampa Bay Lightning, it's Andrei Vasilevsky, who's been injured for the entirety of this young season. It's been reported by Chris Johnston that he might be back by American Thanksgiving. So that's coming up pretty soon. That's going to be huge for them. I know Jonas Johansson has done his best while he's been out of the lineup, but you certainly see that Tampa Bay team really lacks that starting number one goaltender.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Johansson has played very well for Tampa Bay, coming in relief for Vasilevsky. But, I'm looking to see how Tompkins will do against those Montreal Canadiens tonight.
Absolutely. And just a question coming here from Tyler. We appreciate the question, and anyone that has any questions or comments along the way, keep those coming in. You think Nicholas Paul going to have some assists tonight? I think so. You know what they say, Nick Paul does it all. Right now, he's, I guess, a middle six center for this team. He plays in all sorts of situations. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a few assists. And of course, Nick Paul, a former Ottawa Senator, so a former division rival, or still a division rival, but a little bit closer. So I think that Nick Paul is definitely going to get some assists tonight. What are your thoughts, Nathan?
Yeah, it's I think Nick Paul will have at least a point tonight. Like you were saying, Michael, he does play in the top six center role there for their second line for Tampa Bay. And they've got firepower on that line, so look for Nick Paul to set up his wingers for him to get that assist on the board today.
Yeah, absolutely. A few hellos from the chat. So hello, chat. How's it going? Let us know your predictions for tonight's game. Who do you think is going to score first? Which player, which team? We want to hear from you. I get the feeling it's not going to take very long before we get our first goal in this game, just because both of these teams have been, both teams have scored a lot in their last few starts, actually. Montreal got 4 goals in a losing effort, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning just last night scoring 5 goals again in a losing effort. So we appreciate all the comments coming in here. We got Chad predicting a Lightning win. So let us know the score, though, Chad. We want to know a little bit more information. Be a little bit more bold for us. And, of course, Amy Johnson reminding us here, definitely use the THPN code for DraftKings to set up your 2 daily fantasy lineups tonight. And Tyler, piggybacking off the last question with Nick Paul, Anthony Cirelli. I think Anthony Cirelli is going to score a couple goals tonight. What do you think, Nathan?
You know what? I think he's gonna play a good game, but I think he's gonna remain off the score sheet tonight. I think it's gonna be a top six forward points getting for Tampa Bay. But who knows? We'll see. We'll see what that third line does for Tampa Bay.
Absolutely. So puck drop just happened moments ago. So this game is underway, and that was a quick goal. Kucherov scores just, I believe that was under a minute. Yep, it's 1934 into the game, and a Kucherov goal. So whoever predicted Tampa Bay scoring first with Kucherov, you are very much correct. Kind of a broken play by the Montreal Canadiens, very disorganized in their own zone, and Kucherov wide open within the circle. Just poor defensive coverage there. Michael Matheson does not pick up on Kucherov, and it's 1-0 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, wow, what do you think about this quick start?
Well, I knew a goal was going to be scored in the first period. I didn't think it was going to happen this quick in the game. But I guess if you look back to last night's game when Tampa played Toronto, Kucherov did have a big first period with 4 points in that first period last night. So he's taking over where he's keep doing what he did last night.
Absolutely. So just a quick offside there. Still, I guess, about 2 minutes into the game. 1-0 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. We've had a few people hop into the chat since then. Tyler wants to know about the Anthony Cirelli assists. I'll give him at least one assist tonight. Why not? I know Nathan said no points for Anthony Cirelli, so that's our thoughts. We have Chad here who's saying that he's a Leaf fan. So thanks for coming by for this Montreal Canadiens versus Tampa Bay Lightning stream. We appreciate it. Come hang out. Let us know your thoughts. Game back on. About 50 seconds in, and so much has happened so far. Right now, Montreal trying to get set up in the Tampa Bay zone, but they're struggling. Tampa Bay is all over them, starting to throw their bodies around. Tampa Bay has a lot of very big physical defensemen, so it's going to be a struggle for Montreal. And Tampa Bay with a quick shot there, misses the net. A bit of an odd man break with a little bit of room. Montreal trying to come back the other way here, but Tampa Bay once again breaking that up. I think this Tampa Bay defense is going to be hard for the Montreal Canadiens to crack tonight.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the first minute and a half of the game, seeing how Tampa Bay is just not letting Montreal do anything with the puck right now. It looks like it is going to be a little bit of a challenge, but again, it is early in that first period.
We'll see how absolutely. So approaching the 2-minute mark into this game, about 18 minutes left to play. Tampa Bay getting set up in the offensive zone here. They're going to have a shot from the point that gets through to Allen, and a little rebound that misses the net. Montreal finally collects the puck. They're going to go back the other way, doing their best to try and hold back this Tampa Bay Lightning team. They get a nice shot in on net, but that's stopped nicely by Matt Tompkins. But once again, back out to the neutral zone, and Montreal not really having a whole lot of time or space in that Tampa Bay offensive zone.
Yeah, I know it's early in the game, but it looks like Tampa Bay, it looks like they weren't the one. It doesn't look like they were the ones that had a back-to-back, but they're coming out hard right now in that first period.
Yeah, Tampa Bay with another opportunity, just misses the puck there. Right now, Montreal battling to get a hold of possession. Tampa Bay doing a great job on that forecheck, holding Montreal from exiting their defensive zone. Finally, they break in, and it's kind of a 2-on-1 situation.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Pizzetta missed the net, and we're going to have a stoppage in play. Pizzetta goes down hard into the end boards. That's not a good look there, and maybe a penalty on the way. Montreal to the power play with a tripping call. Like the Tampa Bay defender went full body slide to try and stop Pizzetta. Pizzetta tripped right over that defender's back. Luckily, the defender is okay, but not very good news for Michael Pizzetta so far. And the power play is underway. Tampa Bay was very quick to send it back to the Montreal zone. And as Montreal's collecting it, once again, that Tampa Bay forecheck causing a lot of issues for them. Montreal's power play, as we all know, has been a struggle. for the last few seasons at the very
Yes.
least. They don't score too often. In their last game, it was Slafkovsky converting on the power play, but those power play goals are pretty rare for Montreal.
Yeah, no, and Montreal's power play has been having a hard time, like you were saying, Michael. But it looks like we have our first unit out there with Josh Anderson, Nick Suzuki, Sean Monahan, Cole Caulfield, and Michael Matheson. So we'll see what they can do in the offensive zone.
Yeah, approaching the 1 minute point in the power play. Not a whole lot for Montreal. I think they got at least one shot on. There's an opportunity there, but a missed pass. Unfortunately, Montreal doing their best to get a shot, and they ring one off the post. I believe that's Cole Caulfield. Montreal holding the puck in just barely. 40 seconds left in the power play. Still trying to cycle that puck around a little bit and get an open opportunity. That gets deflected high over Tompkins. Tampa Bay trying to clear. Finally, they get a hold of it, as that was a very tired group. They send it the full length of the ice. Despite a few opportunities there, it really just did not feel like Montreal had any clear looks. And when they did, it was high and wide or off the post for Caulfield.
Yeah, I know Tampa Bay is really playing that puck, playing that zone defense, making sure that puck isn't staying on a Montreal Canadiens stick long enough or too long. Just giving them a lot of headaches in the offensive zone there.
So the power play comes to an end there. No goals for Montreal at the 15-minute mark. 2 shots on net for the Canadiens on that power play. They didn't really generate a whole lot off of that, but it's not the worst power play I've seen for them, unfortunately. So that's going to be icing for Tampa Bay as they send it all the way back to the Montreal zone. We'll get an offensive zone face off coming up pretty soon here. But we'll just take a minute here and we'll get to tonight's mission, our keys to the game for both teams. And Nathan, what is the key to the game for the Montreal Canadiens tonight?
I think Montreal needs to forget the game that happened on Saturday against the Blues. And honestly, in my opinion, I believe that Newhook, Dvorak, and Anderson line really needs to, get on that scoreboard and give us some of that depth scoring that we need to win tonight's game.
Absolutely. For me, I see a Matt Tompkins in net for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and what I have to say is throw everything at him, anything and everything at Matt Tompkins. He's a young goalie. He's a goalie that struggled. All shots are good shots. Doesn't matter where it's from. Just send everything his way. That's my key for the Montreal victory tonight. Game's back underway here as Tampa Bay Lightning bring the puck all the way back to the Montreal Canadiens defensive zone. I'll take a minute here again, just encourage everybody to get into the chat. Just to clarify for Tyler's question, I'm predicting assists for both Anthony and Nicholas, and Nathan is predicting an assist for Nicholas, but not Anthony. So
Yes.
Appreciate that, Tyler. Thanks for being in the chat. Let us know if there's anything else you want us to predict for you. At the 14-minute mark of this period, currently shots are 3-2 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning up 1-0 after a goal within the first minute of the games by Nikita Kucherov. Right now, the puck just kind of moving around a little bit, neither team getting fully set up, and that's going to deflect up and over the bench. Luckily, does not hit Montembeault. It looks like it was pretty close to him, and it looks like we're going to head into our first commercial break of this game, and let's continue along with tonight's mission. We talked about the mission for the Montreal Canadiens, but what's the mission for the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight? I'll start with you, Nathan.
All right. Well, for me, and what I was thinking is Tampa Bay needs to start the way they did against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Which they have. They scored that first goal, and they just need to maintain that consistency and that pressure, and make sure that Montreal does not get as many scoring chances as they let Toronto did last night.
Absolutely. For me tonight, I think that for the Tampa Bay Lightning, get under the Montreal Canadiens' skin. This is a Tampa Bay Lightning team with a lot of players that can do that. You know, your Brendan Hagel, your Tanner Jeannot. I think pretty much even Kucherov to an extent can be that guy. Montreal is a team that can be a little bit undisciplined. They've taken a lot of penalties, a lot of very undisciplined penalties at bad times throughout the early parts of this season. So if you're the Tampa Bay Lightning, I would get under their skin as much as possible, get on the power play, and as you saw, that Nikita Kucherov shot, it doesn't take a whole lot for him to find the back of the net.
Yeah, that Kucherov one-timer from the either side seems to be a lethal weapon for him. And it seems to be working for him over the last couple nights here in Ontario, between Toronto and Montreal, or in Toronto and in Montreal.
Yeah, in Ontario and Quebec.
Yeah.
And on that note, since we are in the middle of a commercial break, I think it's a good time to get to our player to watch for the Montreal Canadiens and our player to watch out for on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Once again, I'll defer to you to start with your player to watch on the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, for me, I think player to watch for the Montreal Canadiens is going to be Sean Monahan. He's got four assists, 6 goals, 10 points in 11 games, and he's 1 point behind Cole Caulfield in the points race for Montreal. He is going to be my player to watch for Montreal.
Good pick. I like that pick. I almost went that way. I'm going with Slafkovsky. All eyes on Slafkovsky. He just got his second point of the season against the St. Louis Blues in the last game. His first goal of the season. He's been under a microscope over the past week. Even the Arizona Coyotes throwing a little bit of shade his way. So I have my eyes on Uri Slafkovsky. Also, Gallagher came in close. He scored in back-to-back games heading into tonight. So he's gotten his offense going. I wouldn't be surprised if Gallagher's someone that could get on the scoreboard again tonight. So back into the game here. It's about the 13-minute mark. Tampa Bay up 1-0. Shots 3-2 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just kind of floating the puck around here. Neither team really getting set up all that much. Of note, we did have a Michael Pezzetta injury early in this game as he went hard into the boards. And quick goal by Stamkos. Great shot there, and that looks like it could have been a Nick Paul assist. So there you go, Tyler. Bad rebound for Jake Allen there. Looked like it could have been a nothing play. Kind of a harmless shot, goes off the pad of Jake Allen, tape to tape onto Stamkos' stick. And let's just take a look at this replay here. Oh, yeah, wide open. Actually, it's Nick Paul that parries the puck. It was Stamkos that gets the initial shot, the assist there. And wow, just poor coverage. I believe that was Michael Matheson for the Montreal Canadiens. And as Amy Johnson says, ouch, that's a rebound. Jake will want that back. So that's unfortunate. Tampa Bay up 2-0 very early in the first period. We're yet to reach the 10-minute mark. And as we await the face-off here, Tyler's got another question. What do y'all think about Matt Zuccarello? He's going to have one plus assists. I'm going to say no to that one. What do you think, Nathan?
You know what? I think he's just. I don't think he's going to get 1 plus an assist. I don't think about that tonight.
Nah, not tonight, eh? But
No,
back into the game here. Approaching the 12-minute mark, we have Matt Tompkins out to play the puck behind his net, but Montreal holds it in at the point. Shot sent his way, but that misses. Tampa Bay collects the puck. They'll head out, and if we know anything from the Tampa Bay Lightning team so far, they can make a whole lot of something out of nothing. What seems to be harmless plays seem to find the back of the net here. And a chance for Tampa Bay as the setup is broken up by the Montreal defender, and it looks like Montreal is going to be headed to the box. A delayed penalty, Tampa to the power play. The Tampa Bay Lightning have a great power play, actually. Lots of weapons there. We talked about Kucherov, Stamkos, Hedman, you name it, Braden Point as well. And it's going to be Uri Slafkovsky headed to the box. Let's take a look here. It looks that's kind of a hold, a hook, trips up the Tampa Bay Lightning forward there as he was attempting to get a shot on the net. Not a great penalty taken there by Uri Slafkovsky.
Got to keep your feet moving when you're trying to back check. Got to keep those feet moving.
So we're going to see Montreal head to the penalty kill, and we'll see if they can come out of this alive. The call is going to be holding for Uri Slafkovsky, and quick shot there, stopped by Allen. Montreal gains possession, and they send it all the way back down to the other zone. Tampa Bay leading the shots department 5-2 currently. Still lots of power play left to go as they try to break it into the offensive zone. They get it past the blue line and they cycle the puck around a little bit. Who are you watching out for the most on this Tampa Bay Lightning power play?
Oh, for the Tampa Bay Lightning power play, honestly, I was gonna pick an easy pick, Nikita Kucherov, but I'm gonna go with Steve Stamkos. I think the captain is hungry for some more goals, and Kucherov's been on fire, and this power play for the Tampa Bay Lightning has they've been on fire the last couple of games.
One-timer there, stopped by Jake Allen. He'll cover that one up. Sorry to interrupt you, but there you go, Steven Stamkos with a nice opportunity, and Allen has to dive across the crease to get that one. Just taking a look here, great pass across the ice to Stamkos. Doesn't look like he got all of it on that puck. Perhaps there was a bit of a deflection to slow it down, but Allen covers that one up. 1 minute left to go in the Tampa power play, and a goal quick off of the face-off. That's going to be a pass from Barry Boulet across the ice, and that goes into the net. So Barry Boulet with a great setup. I believe was that Tanner Jeannot that finished that one off. Great set play by the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is an incredible pass across the ice.
Wow.
So it's possible that hits Jeannot's stick before it goes in. And as Amy Johnson's saying here, so what's the prediction on whether we see Montembeault tonight? I think that's fair. I think there's a very good chance we do based on how this has gone. 3-0 Tampa Bay. Still over 10 minutes to go in this period as the Tampa Bay Lightning convert on the power play. Great setup. And Tampa Bay once again with the odd-man rush. That hits the crossbar. Wow. Tampa Bay with a ton of opportunities so far and such a great setup. So Tampa Bay, once again, with some more time in the offensive zone here. They cycle it around. Montreal finally breaks it up. And a big hit at center ice there by the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal just trying to slow things down a bit here and get control. Less than 10 minutes to go in this period. Shots 8-2 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And looks like... this one is getting away from the Montreal Canadiens very early in this game. You see Hagel gets an assist on one of those goals as well. I believe someone in the chat was asking about that tonight. And we're headed into our next commercial break here. 3-0 Tampa Bay in the first period there after a power play goal was scored, and just... wow, the Tampa Bay Lightning are on fire right now, really taking advantage of these Montreal Canadiens and turning what looks like nothing opportunities into great feeds and some really great shots.
Yeah, no, it's the Tampa Bay Lightning have really picked off where they left off last night in the first period. Them going up 4-1 on Toronto, and now up 3-0 against Montreal.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just take 1 or 2 seconds here just to play around with a potential visual that we can get up on the screen here. Nathan, I'll let you just do a little bit of a summary of what we've seen so far in this game.
All right. Well, so far, obviously, Tampa Bay Lightning's been off, like I said, to a great start, getting 3 goals in the first half of this first period. And to be honest, Montreal is looking like the team that they played a game last night. They're not playing the best defensive coverage in some instances, and which is allowing Tampa Bay to capitalize on the scoring chances. But again, I don't want to point out players, but Mike Matheson, he's been on the ice for 2 out of 3 of those goals, I believe, and I don't want to blame any players, but it just seems that he's been having some bad luck lately over the last couple of games with being on the ice when there's been goals against.
Absolutely. So there we go. We have our scoreboard up now. So appreciate this THPN Hockey Podcast Network for making sure that we had this up and running for everyone to see. So there you go. We have our scoreboard up, and we're heading back into the game here. The Tampa Bay Lightning, as you can see, up 3-0 so far in this first period. Barry Boulay with the latest goal on the power play. That was a setup from Hagel and Sergachev. So at the 9-minute mark, just about, we get an icing once again by the Tampa Bay Lightning. The faceoff's going to go all the way back to the other zone. Well, one of our colleagues is tuned in, Mike Raschel. He's going to need another bourbon real soon. What a mess. I agree, Mike Raschel. This has not been a great start by the Montreal Canadiens. This is looking pretty rough and high-scoring game, like we said. And the Montreal Canadiens, not a whole lot to show for it. They've only got 2 shots on net so far. Like I said, in my mission for tonight for the Montreal Canadiens was to send everything towards Matt Tompkins in that Tampa Bay net. They've not done so quite yet. So let's see if they're going to be able to do so at some point. So Nathan, what does Montreal have to change in the next little while of this period?
I think they just need to find their game, their confidence. They haven't had any shots since their power play. Haven't really been able to really get in that offensive zone and put pucks on net, like you were saying, put everything on net because they have a younger goalie in. And honestly, I think Montreal just needs to just look at the ice a little bit differently and get back to playing their game.
Absolutely. So the puck sent all the way back to the Montreal zone. They go to pick it up here. They're going to try to break it out. Kovacevic there. But that Tampa Bay forecheck causing some issues. Finally, they break it up to center ice. And will they get it? They do get it into the offensive zone, but Tampa Bay very quick to break that up, not letting Montreal have very much space with that puck, and Montreal really missing on some of their passes to try and break the puck out of their own zone here. So, as Mike Raschel said, what a mess so far for the Montreal Canadiens. It's going to be the story of the game so far. Potentially an opportunity here from Montreal, but Tampa Bay not giving them any good looks in the offensive zone. A shot there misses. They try to cycle it around. Hopefully they can keep it in here. They do manage to do that, but not very many opportunities to set up. The positioning of this Tampa Bay Lightning team is absolutely impeccable.
Yeah.
Finally, a shot gets through to Tompkins, but that's an easy stop. Behind the net here, trying to battle for the puck. Tampa Bay currently holding on to it, and they will break it out past the blue line. They'll try to get into the offensive zone, but it looks like there's maybe some tighter feet. Tampa Bay Lightning could be looking for a change pretty soon.
Yeah, no, it's Tampa Bay has been really keeping the Montreal Canadiens to the outside, giving them no looks, and if they are looks, they've got bodies in front. Goldie's able to see it, so Montreal really needs to figure out this defense for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. Just under 7 minutes left in this period, and this has been a long period for the Montreal Canadiens. Not a whole lot going their way. Tampa Bay seems to hold the majority of the possession. Right now, both teams having a difficult time navigating the neutral zone, but bit of a high stick there by Tampa Bay to break up the Montreal pass. And they're just showing Marty St. Louis here. He does not look too impressed with this so far. Montreal has lost the 3 games previous to this one. This could be a 4-game losing streak for the Montreal Canadiens if things do not change soon.
Yeah, no, it's like we pointed out, Montreal's had a tough time when the opposing team's been had a back-to-back. So let's hope that Montreal finds their legs here and able to at least pot one before the end of this first to try to break some of this momentum that Tampa Bay's really been able to carry throughout this whole game.
It looks like Michael Pezzetta is back. We were a little bit worried as he headed to the dressing room after going hard into the boards. Great mustache on Michael Pezzetta, sporting the Movember cause right now. I appreciate seeing that on him. Nice to see him back in this game too, and hopefully he can come out and generate a little bit of energy for Montreal, because they seem to be quite flat-footed and not a whole lot of energy on their side.
Yeah, no, Michael Posada, it's good to see him back on the bench. Good to see that he's back to playing the game. And honestly, I really love Posada's mustache. You know, I remember last year his mustache got pretty big. And,
Yeah.
you know, supporting a good initiative like Movember is great to see.
So it looks like Tampa's going to be breaking it into the offensive zone here. And a goal gets past Allen. Wow. Ice him up with a goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and it's 4-0. Montreal at home is struggling against these Tampa Bay Lightning, and it looks like we're going to see Montembeault. So, Amy, you brought it up first, and there you go. Oh, that just happened.
Yeah.
Just going to take a quick look at this replay here, and oh, wow. That's such a tough angle of a goal. Short side, it looks like.
Yeah. Over that
No
shoulder.
idea how that got through. Yeah. Kind of rolls down Allen's back, maybe.
Yeah.
That's something you can't do, unfortunately. So we talked about Jake Allen and his great play so far in the early parts of the season. He gets pulled, and that was fast.
Yeah, no, it's we're I know we were talking all about Montreal just throwing the puck on the net for Tampa Bay, but it looks like Tampa Bay is doing that to us, and we've let in a couple of goals that we wish we had back. But
there you go. And Amy says it best. Wow, okay. I didn't think we'd see Monty that fast. Well, I blame Amy. She kind of jinxed that one. She brought it up first. So maybe you said that a little bit too soon in the game there, Amy. I'll bring up your previous comment here. And yeah, I'm going to blame this all on that comment from Amy Johnson. So thank you for a great game, Amy.
Well,
shots 9-3 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Just under 6 minutes to go, 4-0. Just a bad start for the Canadiens. They're not getting anything right now. Finally, they get into the offensive zone. Maybe they'll get a shot off, but they're struggling to find some open space. Even Suzuki and Caulfield out there right now, really just hesitating to throw the puck towards Matt Tompkins, looking for maybe the perfect pass. But like I said, this is a goaltender who really lacks NHL experience. He's 0-2 this season. Just throw something at him. That's all I'm going to say. And Amy Johnson continuing to let us know her thoughts here. She will remember those comments. Yeah, write it down. We'll revisit this later. And Amy predicted a 6-4 Tampa Bay win. Must have been a typo. 16-4 for Tampa Bay is going to be the prediction.
Oh, wow.
I hope Montreal can score.
Yeah, I hope it's not a 16-4 win, Tampa.
Yeah. So the puck headed all the way back to the Montreal defensive zone. They're first to touch it up, but they've had some struggle getting past this Tampa Bay forecheck. Defenseman trying to slow it down a little bit. He goes D to D. They're looking for options, and they look pretty disorganized. Montreal gets into the offensive zone, and then they go for a tumble. Tampa Bay heads back the other way. They'll have an opportunity to throw some pucks at Montembeault. That one gets blocked. Montreal prevails with the puck, sends it the other way, misses, and it's an icing. So a missed pass leads to an icing that was not anywhere close to connecting, unfortunately. And Montreal will have a face-off in their defensive zone. Just a terrible start for this Montreal team tonight at home. And the Tampa Bay Lightning, we mentioned they're on the second half of a back-to-back. They had an overtime game against Toronto yesterday, and they look like they have all sorts of energy. So you can really see the difference between these two teams.
Yeah, I know. And the biggest thing is that looks like the first period has been very strong for Tampa Bay. Like I said earlier in the show, they had 4 goals in the Toronto game yesterday in the first period, and looks like they're repeating history by scoring 4 against the Montreal Canadiens.
And another icing from Montreal, really struggling to connect those passes. I almost feel like they're looking for the perfect plays. They look pretty flat-footed. They look nervous. They're not sure what to do. Very disorganized. And here's our Rajaka trying to generate something. It looks like he was yelling at one of the Tampa Bay players. Not sure what went down there. But, man, you look at that Montreal bench, and they all look like they're pretty frustrated right now. Montreal's going to want to get organized soon. They can't wait to get to the end of this period.
Yeah.
Maybe they have an opportunity. Slap shot, maybe hit a bit of Tompkins, but that goes far and out back to the Montreal defensive zone, where Tampa Bay does collect the puck. But finally, Montreal comes away with the puck again. Fan pass, blocked shot, and wow, just Tampa Bay not giving them an inch of anything.
Yeah.
One-timer goes off of Matt Tompkins' blocker, and Tampa Bay is going to send the puck all the way back to the Montreal zone. Everything going wrong for the Canadiens. Only 3 shots on net, and we're approaching the 3-minute mark. We're at 3:45 right now. Montreal really trying to slow this down, just waiting behind the net. We picked a great game to join to do this watch party. Any Habs fans in the chat, let us know what your feelings are right now. And it looks like there was an opportunity for Montreal to score, and there's a trip, another penalty to the Tampa Bay Lightning.
And all right, let's see that Montreal power play. Get on the board.
If they can get something. That was a weird penalty. There were almost 2 guys there tripping up the Montreal forward before he went down. So that's twice we've seen Tampa Bay taking a penalty off of a Montreal odd man rush. Maybe that's kind of the secret to getting some things going. Their last power play did not go very well. 2 shots on the power play, but didn't really generate a whole lot of high danger chances. We'll see if they can get something. This is getting very ugly for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Michael. It is getting very ugly for the Montreal Canadiens. It hurts me to say that, but at the same time, you got to give credit where credit's due. Tampa Bay is playing Montreal hard, not giving them any chances in the offensive zone and keeping them to the outside. If that was their game plan to execute, they're executing at full potential. So
absolutely. The Habs headed into tonight. Their record is 5-4-1. The Tampa Bay Lightning are 4-2-4. So Montreal actually has more wins than the Tampa Bay Lightning. The difference here is that Tampa Bay has some losses in overtime. So you see the difference in the standings with Tampa Bay quite a bit ahead of Montreal. And with Vasilevsky coming back soon, this is going to be great for this team. They're going to have a lot of they're going to be a cup contender for sure.
Yes. No, the Tampa Bay Lightning will be a cup contender for sure, especially them at least taking their games to overtime. Yeah, not necessarily winning every single one of them, but getting those much needed points in a loss is good to see for Tampa.
Question coming in from Amy: who's going to be the guy to break open the scoring for Montreal? I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about Montreal and their ability to score tonight. It's probably going to be I feel like it's going to be a defenseman, maybe like a Jordan Harris off of a deflection sort of deal. What do you think, Nathan?
You know what? It's been a while since we saw Cole Caulfield's one-timer on the power play going in. So I'm rooting for Cole Caulfield here to get that nice one-timer shot in the back of the net.
Absolutely. So Ayusi Mont to the box for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal on the power play. 2 shots on their first one. They're 0-for-1 so far. At the very least, this is an opportunity to gain some momentum. Montreal trying to cycle the puck around a little bit here and get set up. They have their top unit out right now, just looking for some open ice. Passing it around a bit. Here's Matheson and Caulfield there looking for the right time to take a shot. They're being very patient right now.
Yeah.
Matheson with a block shot. Rebound doesn't get through to the net. We're at 1 minute 20 left on the power play. Montreal still has possession. They're doing a good job holding on to the puck, but maybe waiting for too many of those perfect opportunities. Oh, quick opportunity there on a backhand. He tried to deke around the Tampa Bay defender, but nothing to show for it. Finally, Tampa Bay sends it down to the other end. Montreal gets a couple shots there, a couple of interesting opportunities, but Matt Tompkins, a couple of easy saves. It looks like they'll want to challenge him a little bit more.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. We need to challenge Tompkins a lot more, I think, on the power play. We're being like you said, Michael, we're trying to find that right pass, that right play to get that puck in the net. I just think, like you said earlier in the show, just have them just put the pucks on net and get those rebounds.
Yeah, keep it simple. Opportunity with a point shot. That one goes high. Montreal errors on the pass, and that's going to go all the way back to their own zone. Montembeault there to touch it up. Under 20 seconds left on the power play. This might be their last breakout on the odd man rush. They've done a good job hanging on to possession for the most part, but like I said, they're looking for that perfect opportunity, and Tampa Bay doing a good job getting in the lane, blocking a lot of those shots, or at least getting a piece of it. Montreal gets a hold of the puck in the offensive zone, and nice shot. Stopped by Tompkins, point blank, and everyone's going to go in for a little hug, and it's going to be a bit of a scrum at the side of the net there in the offensive zone for Montreal. Not sure what spurred that on. Goulet came in, took a shot, and then immediately went after the Tampa Bay player with some pushing and shoving, so trying to generate some energy. Credit to Goulet, you got to try something, and looks like it's going to be a penalty actually, so maybe not such a good play there by Goulet. Let's take a look at the replay here. So a shot from the face-off dot, and then he goes for probably like a cross check. That looks like a high cross check on the Tampa Bay Lightning player, so he'll go to the box. That's
that wasn't a good penalty to take.
Yeah, pretty undisciplined penalty to take. I thought it was just a scrum initially, but Goulet going and looking for violence. And Tampa Bay does a good job not getting too involved there. They'll head to the power play. Montreal gets a hold of the puck first, but Tampa Bay quick to get it back. Tampa Bay scored on their last power play. Let's see if they can do it again. Little update from around the league here. It's going to be, I guess the Hurricanes are up 1-0 against the Buffalo Sabres at the end of the first. And it looks like we've got the Wild up 1-0 against the Islanders at 15-minute mark in that first period. So appreciate the updates from around the league there. And just one more for you, as it looks like the Rangers are up 1-0 over the Red Wings. Tampa Bay still on the power play here, looking for to generate a few shots. They've had a couple of opportunities. Nothing really got through. Nice tip there up front off of a point shot. Montembeault with the stop. Tampa Bay cycling around. Another shot. That one gets blocked and goes to the corner. Once again, Tampa Bay doing a good job hanging on to possession before Montreal sends it the length of the ice. Less than a minute to go in this Tampa Bay power play. Currently, Tampa Bay leading shots 10-5 with a 4-0 lead over the Montreal Canadiens. Under 10 seconds to go. And they'll have just one final opportunity here. Will they get a shot through? 1 second left. Nope. And that's going to be it. Just before the horn, it looks like Montembeault made a nice save there. Might have been Kucherov with the shot, and wow, 4-0 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're all over these Montreal Canadiens. Chances far and few for the Montreal Canadiens, and just an ugly start for that team. Tampa Bay doing a good job holding Montreal to very few opportunities, very few shots for the Canadiens. And we'll take a quick break here, and then we'll have our first ever edition of our intermission show entitled Nathan's Notes, as we have my Rocket Sports Media colleague Nathan right here. We'll be right back. And we're back. One period down, Tampa Bay Lightning leading the Montreal Canadiens 4-0 after the first period. Montreal really struggling to generate really anything, to be honest. Taking a look at the box score here, Kucherov started things off with a goal just 22 seconds into the game. Then a few minutes later was Nick Paul, who brought things to 2-0. Barry Boulay capitalized for the Tampa Bay Lightning on the power play with a great shot. And then it was Mikey Aisimont with the dagger, the fourth goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Right now, Tampa Bay will have a little bit of power play time heading into that second period. But Nathan, we've just kept saying this has been an absolute disaster of a game so far. What specifically do you think has gone wrong for this team?
Michael. Well, I kind of have a little bit of a list, to be honest. So I think, from my opinion, for what I've been watching, Montreal just can't find the games that they had, against, say, like, Vegas or, the previous teams they played earlier this year. And just, they're not keeping it easy. It seems like, even the easy, like the passes they're trying to make are just they're not making them to the people they want. And if you look at, both teams' power plays, let's look at both of those real quick. I know Montreal power play has struggled, but if you look at the structure of how each power play has played out, Tampa Bay has been able to keep Montreal to the outside. But when you're looking at Montreal's PK unit against Tampa Bay's power play, it's Tampa is just cycling the puck, keeping that puck moving, and they're finding those open lanes and getting those shots on net. Honestly, I think Montreal needs to just get back to playing that easy game of hockey. Like you're saying, Michael, you want to see Montreal throw more pucks on net, because Tompkins is just a younger goalie, few starts in the NHL. So we may be able to get a bounce or two. But in my eyes, I think Montreal really, really needs to keep it simple and just go back to that brand of hockey that they're used to playing.
Absolutely. Currently, Tampa Bay also leading the shots department 10-5 right now. Just taking a look at our colleague Chris G. He's done a great job on Twitter. Make sure you're giving him a follow too, just at Chris G Habs 360. He says Montreal currently 0-2 on the power play. They have a 1-3-0-1 record when trailing after the first period, and a 2-3-0-1 record when allowing the first goal. So everything pointing in the direction of Montreal not having a very good game and probably not going to be able to come out with a win here. Just going to quickly take a look at the chat. We did have a question come in from Racist Fan Rock 4, and he says, what do you guys think went wrong with the Edmonton Oilers? Nathan, what do you think has gone wrong with the Edmonton Oilers? I know this is Tampa Bay versus Habs, but we like to talk about all the teams around the league, and the Oilers are certainly disappointing so far.
Yeah, well, I'll keep it 2 points. So I think Edmonton needs to take a look at their goalie situation. Both goaltenders haven't really been able to play at their best, I would say. And then ultimately, the other point is I think Edmonton needs to get out of their own heads. I think they're more, as every loss happens, they get more and more frustrated before they want to go on the ice, and I think that kind of carries over into the game.
The point of goaltending, Jack Campbell was put on waivers today with the purpose of putting him to their AHL affiliate. And it looks like Cal Pickard is going to be called up. Maybe he'll get a few starts there. It's not just been Jack Campbell that's struggling. It's also been Stuart Skinner, who's a little bit up and down. He got scored on 6 times last night. With the Edmonton Oilers, all I'm going to say is this goaltending issue has been going on for a lot of years. They signed Campbell to a contract that everyone knew was not going to be very good. They signed Skinner last year. He was pretty good. I think he was decent last year, but I think that was too much too soon based on a rookie goaltender. And just a big, big thumbs down to the Edmonton organization for not getting their goaltending figured out in these many years. And especially when you have McDavid and Draisaitl, that's very disappointing to see. Some breaking coverage here coming from the Canadiens Connection podcast. All reports MSL had a trade in in the first intermission against the Columbus Blue Jackets when the Habs were behind 2-0. All right, so there's that, and what they also have to say is, should we expect another one, and will it work? Well, I don't know. What do you think, Nathan?
I think there's going to be some yelling in that locker room, and it's going to be directed obviously at the full team. I honestly think Martin St-Louis will have a few words. I'm sure he did not like that performance at all.
Absolutely, and I think it's kind of warranted too. I think that these Montreal Canadiens, they had every opportunity to get off to a good start. Tampa Bay was the team on the back-to-back. In the second half of a back-to-back, Tampa Bay is a team with a young, very inexperienced goaltender who's 0-2 this season in net, and for Montreal to be down 4-0 after the first period, that's a huge thumbs down. So yeah, I think Marty St. Louis is going to want to get his guys under control, and just wow, bad start for these Montreal Canadiens. I'll just send it over to you. I know you mentioned the ear player that you're keeping an eye on tonight is Sean Monahan. What do you think about his play so far? I've not noticed him a ton.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Michael. To be honest, I haven't really seen much of their line on the ice and getting into gameplay and holding that puck. But I think it was just a bad start all around for Montreal. But I think after that first intermission, Monahan and the rest of the Montreal Canadiens will find their groove and get back on that train.
Yeah, Monahan is leading the team in goals right now. I think he's been mostly on that third line. He's maybe been bumped up since the return of Christian Dvorak from injury in the last game. So he's going to get quite a bit of ice time, but he, as a veteran guy, we've seen that first line with Suzuki and Caulfield not be able to generate a whole lot. I think that this is an opportunity for Monahan to really lead by example, and it'd be really great for this team if he could get it on the board once again tonight.
Yeah, no, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go first.
No, I was gonna say, no, I completely agree with your points, Michael. I just Monahan, like you said, he's that veteran presence, and he needs to use that in the room, use that on the ice, and help that team get going.
And follow up on our Oilers question. What do you think about this, Nathan?
Huh. Yeah. You know what? I feel bad for the Sharks having had two games back to back, 10 goals against. I know that must be hard for that franchise. But as for Edmonton getting 15, I think at least either McDavid or Leon Draisaitl getting a hat trick against the Sharks, but I'm not too sure about the 15 goals.
Yeah, that's fair to say too. The Sharks did lose a 10-2 against the Pittsburgh Penguins just last week. So they're not well, it wouldn't be the first time that they went down by double digits. They also had 10 goals scored on them by the Vancouver Canucks. So you never know, but with the way these Oilers are playing, I wouldn't be shocked either if this was the first Sharks win.
Yeah.
Some more comments coming out from listeners. This one says, let me ask you guys something. Do you think the Toronto Maple Leafs are the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL? Because their fan base, and they haven't won anything since 1967. Well, yeah, I've heard that one a few times. I think that's a pretty fair comparison. I'm not super familiar with the NFL, if I'm being completely honest, but I think that's absolutely fair. Even maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs are a worse franchise, to be completely honest, because Toronto is the team in the NHL that probably has the most money and resources. No?
Yeah, no, yeah, Toronto definitely does have the most money and resources, but I do agree with you, Michael. I believe Toronto Maple Leafs are like the Dallas Cowboys. But again, I don't really follow the NFL, but I mean, I'm not really a Toronto Maple Leaf fan either. They're not really the best team on my up list, but it's okay. I do respect Toronto. They're a good team, but yeah, it's been I believe they're the Dallas Cowboys of the NHL for sure.
Yeah. So taking a little bit more of a look into some stuff that we have prepared for this intermission. I mentioned off the top, Slafkovsky is someone that we've had our eyes on quite a bit last season and this season. Only 2 points so far within 11 games, 1 goal, 1 assist. and he's been kind of a disappointment, to be completely honest. First overall pick, just 2 drafts ago, and he's not really done a whole lot. What do you think has gone wrong with Slafkovsky? Is this Slafkovsky just not the player we expected him to be, or is this a mismanaged by the Montreal Canadiens in terms of development?
You know what? He's still fairly young. I don't want to chalk it up that it's like he's not supposed to be in the NHL. I'm gonna, for starters, start off with his development. You know, if you look at other players from that same draft year, you look how they were, brought along. Slafkovsky is the only one that's, pretty much was put into the NHL right off the hop. And I think, at least in my opinion, Slafkovsky needs to go to the AHL.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. And hello to Gustav, one of our other colleagues hopping into the chat there. He has a few things to say about Slafkovsky as well. He says, be patient with Slav. Look what Byfield is doing these days. Byfield, the second overall pick in 2020, and it definitely took him a while to get going. Nowadays, I think he's starting to get his legs underneath him, although he's playing on the wing. He was drafted as a center, so I think he's still not quite there, but still developing. I do think that Slafkovsky is someone that would benefit very much from some AHL time. I know a few of our colleagues, as well as Amy Johnson, posted a whole video on our YouTube channel about this. Slafkovsky he's slow, he's behind the play. And we saw a very undisciplined penalty from him in that first period, where if he was simply just skating, it could have been prevented. But he stopped skating, he got his stick in the way, and he got a holding penalty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and on that note too, this was something we talked about at length on the Canadiens Connection podcast this past weekend. If you haven't heard it already, just head over to CanadiensConnection.fm. You can also find it on any of your favorite podcasting apps. Hit subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and give us a follow at Habs Connection on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So you never miss a single episode of that. And Amy Johnson, who I mentioned, has talked at length about this on YouTube. Just search at All Habs on YouTube, and you can find our YouTube page there. She hosts the Habs Hockey Report and the Rocket Hockey Report show throughout the week. She puts up all sorts of great content, so make sure that you're subscribed to that as well. Continuing with our talk about Juraj Slafkovsky here. He was injured last season throughout the early parts. He had a season-ending injury. He came back into the preseason. It looked like he was in good shape. I think he had an all-right preseason. Playing beside Doc, it looked like he was a little bit better. But since Doc has been gone, Slafkovsky really has faded into the background. He's trying his best on the top line tonight. He's being tried out with Suzuki and Caulfield. But once again, I'm still pretty disappointed. What do you think has to change in Slafkovsky's game? Where do you think he's lacking?
You know what? I think he's lacking his own confidence. I think that like it was said on Canadiens Connection podcast, Slafkovsky needs to dominate in a league underneath the NHL for that to portray into the NHL. But I think like on a positive note, I think Slafkovsky, the one thing that he's not doing as much as he did last year was skate around with his head down and get those big hits against him. But there's I think that's where he needs to start off, is dominating in that AHL or lower league.
Yeah, absolutely. And a little message coming in here from the Canadiens Connection podcast. New defense pairing tonight, Matheson and Harris. Both are -3 in the first period. So Montreal down 4-0. Matheson and Harris have been on for 3 of 4 goals. I have noticed that Matheson and Harris have not done a great job covering the open man. You saw that, I think, with Kucherov. You saw that again with Barry Boulay, where it was just a wide open man and the defense not really nearby whatsoever. Do you think that this is something that Montreal might want to change up? Where do you think this defense pairing is lacking? Because you have a Matheson who's probably more known for his ability to move the puck, and then a young Jordan Harris, just his second season in the NHL. I thought he was pretty good last year, but hasn't really come into his own yet this season.
Yeah, you know what? I think they're gonna change the defensive pairings up for sure. Especially if one of our D pairings is a -3 just in the first period alone. But ultimately, I think For Matheson, he's that veteran presence on defense, right? Right now in the lineup, and it's been a tough couple games for him. And I think that there's got to be something that's kind of in his head, or he's there's something just not jiving with him, because he's not playing like the Matheson he was at the beginning of the season.
Absolutely. I thought he got off to a great start as well, but the last few games, actually the past week in general, I just don't think he's been all that good, especially in his own zone.
Mm.
Something just isn't really clicking with him right now. Matheson's also someone that's on that top power play unit. He's the quarterback on that unit. And again, I'm not seeing enough from Mike Matheson right now. They put the A on his chest at the beginning of the season. He's a leader in that room. He's been a bit of a spokesperson, being local, just from Côte St. Luc, I believe. And it's just been disappointing. I think Matheson is someone that needs to start leading by example.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Definitely got to see more from the whole team as a whole, though, in the second period.
Absolutely. Heading into the second period in just a couple of moments here, a little reminder to everyone, just give us some questions and comments within the chat. Anything that's on your mind, let us know. In that first period, we were asking for score predictions and asking for who you think is going to score the first goal. Who do you think is going to score next? Is Montreal going to score at some point in this game? And keep sending in those predictions. We'll take them pretty much right up until the beginning of the third period there. So get active in the chat. Second period underway. Tampa Bay Lightning have about 30 seconds left in their power play, and this is going to be an important period for the Montreal Canadiens. Going down 4-0 after one period, they're really going to want to shut down these Tampa Bay Lightnings.
Yeah, no, they really do. They really need to shut down Tampa Bay for the rest of the game if they want to try to make a comeback. At least I know in most of the games the Montreal has played, when they go down, the second period seems to be the roughest of the periods for them. So let's hope that they definitely have a better second period than previous ones.
Absolutely. Gustav in the chat says his bet is next goal by Monahan for the Montreal Canadiens. I sure hope so. We talked about that a little bit during the intermission. Monahan currently leads the way for the Montreal Canadiens in the goals department, so it'd be nice to get him going tonight. Montreal, very early in that first period, after the fourth goal, took Jake Allen out of the net in favor of Sam Montembeault. Things not going Allen's way. Lots of great goals by the Tampa Bay Lightning. And that fourth one that just got in on such a weird angle, kind of rolled down his back on the short side. And that took him right out of the game. Montembeault's come in. He's not been challenged too much. He gets a quick shot there from the point and stops that fine. Montembeault looks like he's kind of settled things down, but like I said, he's not been challenged too much yet. Hopefully, he's going to be able to keep things relatively calm for the Montreal Canadiens and just be stable. He doesn't need to make any flashy saves, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think Montembeault's only had 2 shots on net, like you were saying. Hasn't really been challenged, but I do agree with you, Michael. Montembeault does look calm and knows what he has to do to see this game to the end.
Shot from the point, that one gets stopped by Montembeault. Currently, the Tampa Bay Lightning are really dominating the offensive zone here, cycling things around, keeping the puck away from Montreal. Montreal doing their best to keep things to the outside. I think they've done a good job of that to start, although Tampa Bay is able to get a few shots in. They're not from great angles. Almost a good opportunity for Tampa there as the Montreal defender falls to his knees. Luckily, that gets cleared the whole way back down to the other end. Right now, Tampa Bay leading the shots department 11-5 now as they go into the offensive zone offside.
Yeah, so far it's just been, I'm going to say it's been all Tampa Bay so far, but Montreal's holding their own and keeping them to the outside. And I think getting lucky with that one play where the skater defenseman fell down and shoveled it out of there. Could have been dangerous with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And just so many weapons on this Tampa Bay team. So many players that can get under your skin. That whole line there was Snow Sorelli, and I believe Barry Boulet's on that as well. They're all very defensively responsible, but they can also score. And as we did see Mikey Ayesimont score tonight as well. So that's another guy that can kind of agitate you and score. But this Tampa Bay team has really been very well put together. And once they get Vasilevsky back, they're going to be unstoppable. Quick
Yeah.
opportunity off the rush here for Tampa. Stamkos gets a shot off after a few players go sprawling across the ice. That gets stopped by Montembeault. Montreal tries to break it out the other way. And man, I'm starting to cringe every time the Tampa Bay Lightning get a shot on the net.
Yeah, that was a funny bounce. How I thought Montembeault had that covered, but it just like came out and it was like there. Like what?
Yeah, rebound control has been a bit of a struggle for these Montreal goalies in this game. One of the goals bouncing directly off of Allen's pad, and a perfect setup to go right into the net. I believe that was a Nick Paul goal, the second one of the game, and that really set the tone for how things were going. Right now, not a whole lot going on in the early parts of this period. Tampa Bay with a few opportunities, but nothing too much. Uh, we'll see if Montreal can break out at some point. But again, they look a little bit flat-footed, a little bit low on energy, a little bit demoralized based on how things went in that first period.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Michael. I think Montreal has really let this four goals against really get in their head, and it's found it frustrating for them to try to do anything right now because that Tampa Bay Lightning team is just not giving them any space at all.
Absolutely. A little update from the Canadiens Connection podcast here. Arpin Basu says Mike Matheson was on for all four Lightning goals in the first period. So he was also on for 4 goals against the St. Louis Blues on Saturday. So that's a rough few periods for Mike Matheson. We talked about his struggles after getting off to a pretty good start to this season. He's not been very good in his own zone whatsoever.
Yeah, that hurts. That must really it definitely hurts Mike Madison for sure. But I know they're all professional athletes, and I'm sure he's not letting that bug him too much. But yeah, no, that's not a good stat to have.
It looks like Tampa Bay is heading to the box. Sergachev with an interference call. Montreal is going to head back to the power play. This will be their third power play. So far, Tampa Bay has been a little bit undisciplined. A few tripping calls there in the first period. And then this one, not a great penalty to take for Sergachev, I don't think. So Montreal is going to get another look on the power play. They've not generated a ton so far. What do you think they need to do here? It looks like maybe they changed up some of their personnel.
Yeah, no, I think for Montreal, they definitely need to get more shots on net. Tampa Bay has really done a great job keeping them to the outside, not allowing them to generate anything other than just some time in the offensive zone. But I think just more shots on net, like you were saying in the first period, will help out this Montreal power play.
Shot by Matheson gets blocked. That kind of trickles around. Montreal with another shot from far. Finally, the Tampa Bay Lightning clear it out of the zone. About a minute 30 left on the power play. Montreal got a few good looks there. I think they caught Tampa Bay off guard. A few bounces that maybe were not in their favor for sure. And we have Suzuki putting the puck back in the offensive zone. Tampa Bay very quickly sends it back down the length of the ice. Montreal getting set up on the power play has really been a struggle. They're a team that I think scores mostly off of the rush, so they don't generate a ton once they're set up, to be completely honest. Finally, they do get into the offensive zone, about a minute left on the power play. But again, very short-lived. Tampa Bay breaks that up pretty easily, sends it down the length of the ice.
Yeah, right now Montreal's got their second power play out there with Brendan Gallagher, El Canujo, Slafkovsky, Justin Barron, and Tanner Pearson. So hopefully the second unit can definitely put something on the net and hopefully something in there for a goal.
So Slafkovsky at the point, the nice pass. That one, a little bit of an opportunity for Montreal. That one doesn't go anywhere though. Slafkovsky kind of playing high up there. He scored a power play goal in the last game. Maybe he can generate again. But nice shot there for Montreal. That one goes up high, though. Maybe Tompkins got a piece of it. It looks like that was Gallagher with the opportunity. So nice shot, but not a whole lot to show for it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, Michael. It's a great shot, but I guess you could say they're moving in the right direction. We actually got, a couple chances here on the power play, but so far nothing to show for it.
Yeah, that one just goes high up and over the glass. Montreal still with about 15 on the power play. They win the faceoff. They're trying to cycle it around a bit, but Tampa Bay gets in the way, breaks it up. I think that's going to be it for the Montreal power play as Tampa Bay breaks it into the Montreal zone. Maybe going off on a change. Montreal trying to gather the puck up. Oh, bit of a weird bounce. Tampa Bay almost gets it for another opportunity, but luckily Montreal takes the puck away and they send it back down the end to the end of the ice there. Tampa Bay doing their best to try and keep Montreal off the puck. Currently, shots are 12-9 for the Tampa Bay Lightning, up 4-0 after 4 goals in the first period. Montreal gets a quick shot there. Tompkins stops that handily, trying to get a few more shots on net, but not too many good opportunities still. Cycling it around, maybe they'll get something generated here. Wrister, that's a great stop by Matt Tompkins, and that goes all the way to the other end.
Wow.
Approaching the 12-minute mark. Montreal's starting to heat up a bit. Tampa Bay back on their heels. They've really let up in this second period, and Montreal catching up shot-wise as well as they finally cracked the 10-shot mark. Montreal doing their best to get set up there. That one goes high over Tompkins. Tampa Bay once again clears it out. Montreal sends it back in. Maybe quick change at some point here for them. They look like they could be getting tired, but it goes all the way back to the Montreal zone. Montreal certainly looks like they're getting their due of chances here, but not a whole lot to show for it. And then here's Tampa Bay who steals the puck. Shot by Stamkos. That was a great save by Montembeault to keep that one out. Tampa Bay, once again, they're doing a whole lot with not a whole lot, to be completely honest.
Yeah. No, it's honestly, like you said, Michael, they said it looked like Tampa Bay's taken a little bit of a step back. Probably because they're up 4-0. But like you said as well, they're making something out of nothing with their opportunities in this period.
And Montreal in the offensive zone again, trying to hold it in, doing their best. Oh, they do get it. They might have an opportunity, but Tampa Bay all over that to try and hold off the Montreal Canadiens. I believe that was Josh Anderson. And it looks like there's a penalty coming up here. Power play for Montreal coming up after the break. Just saw something in the chat here coming from Richard or Richard Cochran. In memory of my late father, a lifelong Canadiens fan, and to age myself, my father met Maurice Richard. So, wow, that incredible story. I appreciate that, Richard or Richard. Thank you for sharing that with us. Please, if you have any more stories, I'd love to hear them, and we appreciate the donation as well. Nice to hear that your father is a lifelong Canadiens fan. Meeting Maurice Richard, that's absolutely incredible. Wish I could have done that. And wow, appreciate you sharing that with us.
Yeah.
A few updates from around the league here. Looks like it's 1-1 for the Sabres versus the Carolina Hurricanes in the second period. Minnesota Wild tied 1-1 with the New York Islanders. And then still for the New York Rangers leading the Detroit Red Wings 1-0 at the end of the first. And as these keep popping in, I'll read them out. St. Louis Blues and Winnipeg Jets are 0-0 right now. So a couple of low-scoring games, nothing anywhere close to this 4-0 lead for the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, it's looks like it's a little bit quieter around the rest of the NHL, but it's a one-sided game so far right now against the Montreal Canadiens and Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yeah, currently in the second period, no goals as of yet, luckily, for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal, they've got a few opportunities there. I'd still like them to get some more, and they're getting I guess their opportunities are started to look like a little bit more high danger. But again, Tampa Bay doing a good job getting bodies and sticks in front to try and deflect these or take a little bit off of the puck.
Yeah, they are. No, it's Tampa Bay's defense. They're playing really well with that. And let's hear from the viewers. Let's hear from the chat. Who's going to score on this power play for the Montreal Canadiens? Let's hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. This is going to be, I believe, the fourth power play for the Montreal Canadiens. They have not scored in their first three power plays. We're at the 11 minutes and 15-minute mark, or 15-second mark. Just waiting for the puck to drop here. Montreal wins that, and the power play has begun. Cycling things around, shot by Matheson. That one doesn't get through. And then Suzuki there to try and collect that. That goes all the way out of the zone. Montreal Canadiens break it back into the offensive zone. Tampa Bay throwing their bodies around, and that one goes up and high. And let's take a second here to look into the chat. AB Johnson, cheers to your dad, Richard. Cheers to your dad for Richard or Richard Cochran. Once again, great story. We appreciate that. And like we said, great to hear that. Let us know all your stories too. A few people giving cheers to him and his dad as well. Canadiens Connection and Dylan getting in on that too. So appreciate all the support there going towards your dad. And like I said, if you happen to have any photos or something of that, we'd love to see that too. Definitely reach out to us. Montreal still on the power play, about a minute 20 to go. Breaking in with speed was Nick Suzuki, but he turns away as he didn't like what he saw. The Canadiens still trying to cycle the puck around a little bit, but there you go. The Tampa Bay Lightning break that up just at the blue line, and they'll have to regroup. Montreal doing their best, but again, Tampa Bay with some good sticks and some good bodies getting in the way.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's been really good at playing that zone defense, getting that puck out of the Montreal sticks, and keeping their chances on the power play to a very bare minimum.
Yeah, Tampa Bay once again sends it the length of the ice. Montembeault's going to try to touch this up. About 40 seconds to go left on the power play. Less than 10 minutes left in the second period. Neither team scored in this second period as of yet, but Tampa Bay with 4 straight in the first, one of those being on the power play. Montreal doing their best to try and get set up now. They do have possession, and it's the second unit out there at the moment. Cycling things around, Tampa Bay once again intercepts that. It looks like they'll be able to send it down. Yep, that one goes just outside of the line, and it goes all the way back down to Montembeault. Montembeault, I think he's not had a whole lot to do other than go out and play that puck, right?
Yeah, I think he's only had about 3 or 4 shots on net there against him. So I mean, he, like you said, he hasn't really had much to do so far in this 10 minutes through this period.
Absolutely, and Tampa Bay with an opportunity there. That might be the most Sam Montembeault's had to do. He covers that one up. So nice that that one gets frozen and Montreal has an opportunity to regroup. Montreal 0 for 4 on the power play. They've had their fair share of opportunities with a man advantage, but not a whole lot to show for it. Kind of a disappointing showing, but I think we kind of expected this. This Montreal power play has been quite disappointing so far this season, and it has been for a number of years, actually. So something's got to change at some point. They've been going out with probably the same 2 top unit or the same power play units for the most part this season. Do you think there might be some adjustments you want to see in that regard?
Yeah, honestly, I think we should definitely make a couple adjustments. I think on the first unit, we should swap Matheson out and throw Gooley in there, give Gooley some power play time for sure. And help out that top unit. I know, Matheson is a veteran, but honestly, he's not been having the best of games. And why not put Caden Gooley in there, who's been looking pretty good throughout this game.
So far, it is 4-0 for Tampa Bay. Montreal yet to solve Matt Tompkins. Tampa Bay actually has 2 shutouts on the season, both of those coming from Jonas Johansson. Do we see a Matt Tompkins shutout tonight? Right now, the only team with more shutouts than the Tampa Bay Lightning is the New York Islanders, who have 3, but Tampa Bay tied with both Pittsburgh and the Vancouver Canucks in terms of shutouts right now.
Yeah, just a little bit of since we were talking about the Tampa Bay's power play or penalty kill. Tampa Bay made sure that Toronto didn't score on their power plays at all yesterday too. Toronto went 0 for 3 on the power play, so that Tampa Bay penalty kill has been really putting on a clinic the last 2 games.
Absolutely. And Tampa Bay, just so many offensive weapons. They have about 5 players that are all over a point per game, or at least a point per game right now. Kucherov, second in the NHL points wise with 20 through 12 games. Just behind him, Braden Point with 16 points. Victor Hedman with 14, Hagel with 12 and 12, and Stamkos with 12 and 10 games. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, so many offensive threats, and we didn't even get to talk about Nick Paul yet, who's actually looked pretty good tonight as well.
Yeah, no, Nick Paul's been playing really well, and he's got a couple points on the board there. So looking to see if he continues putting up more points.
So less than 10 minutes to go in this first period. Montreal Canadiens do get the puck out of the defensive zone, and they'll break it out. Tampa Bay tries to collect the puck. A body goes in for a big check. I believe that's Pearson. Montreal trying to regain possession, but Tampa Bay says nope, and they take it all the way to the other end. Nick Paul on a bit of a rush here, fending off Montreal. Big and strong Nick Paul there, doing a good job holding off Jordan Harris. Montembeault goes flying. What seemed like kind of a harmless opportunity for the Lightning. You have Montembeault way out of the net, and luckily the puck trickles out to the Montreal defenseman. What happened there, Nathan?
I don't even know. All I saw was the puck in front of the net, and that was wide open. So.
Wow. So Montembeault goes sprawling. Tampa Bay here in the offensive zone doing their best to try and get set up, but Montreal does poke it out to center. They'll have their chance to set up in the offensive zone. And nice shot there. Slap shot from the point gets stopped by Matt Tompkins. Tompkins, not too many high danger opportunities, and he's looked good so far in this game. I think he's been a bit of a surprise for these Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, no, it's you're completely right about that, Michael. Like the high danger scoring chances are just not there for the Montreal Canadiens, and the shots that we are giving to Tompkins is you can really see it. Like he's got lots of time to react to those shots, and we got to continue to try to challenge and put some better high scoring chances, high danger scoring chances against Tompkins.
That slap shot from Caulfield on the point went off as Tompkins' blocker. There was a pretty big rebound, but the Tampa Bay defense was quick to collect that and ensure that he was able to cover that up. So Montreal definitely is going to want to drive that net a little bit harder and be strong in front of that net too. That's the only way you're going to be able to get past Matt Tompkins, I think, because that was a very juicy rebound.
Yeah, no, and you know the big defensemen on the back end for Tampa Bay as well. They're big boys on the back end, so you really got to drive that net hard, like you were saying, and really continue to put that puck on the net.
So Montreal buzzing in the offensive zone, not a whole lot to show for it yet. Cycling it around, Caulfield with a shot that gets fanned on. He gets possession again. Slafkovsky cannot get to the puck. Slafkovsky falls flat on his back with a hit from Jeannot. And Montreal falling all over the place, and it's a breakaway. That shot gets stopped by Montembeault. Good save, staying calm in the net for Montreal. That was a scary moment and a trip, and it looks like we're going to have a fight. Tanner Jeannot fighting Arbor Xhekaj, and Tanner Jeannot giving a few licks to Xhekaj. Tanner Jeannot ends up on top. Xhekaj loses his balance, and Tanner Jeannot may have actually won that fight against Arbor Xhekaj, who's, I think, is currently one of the toughest guys in the NHL.
Yeah, no, that was a quick one for sure. That was probably the quickest fight I've seen this year by Xhekaj. But yeah, Tanner Jeannot did give him a couple good licks. But I think Xhekaj did have one hit on him at least.
Such a weird sequence here that led to this. Looks like Xhekaj comes over and talks to Jeannot. They both do not hesitate to drop the gloves, and then Jeannot just comes out swinging. Xhekaj got a good look at him. He swung his fist at Jeannot's helmet that popped off immediately. But right now, it looks like Xhekaj and Cole Caulfield are sitting in the box, whereas Jeannot just one in the box for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Slafkovsky falls flat on his back at the beginning of this sequence after Jeannot hits him maybe from behind, but I didn't think it looked too bad. Maybe
Uh,
that's what spawned that. And it looks like Caulfield to the box for tripping, Tampa Bay to the power play.
that was a hairy little play there where it's just like penalty, fight, just a lot going on right there in the last 30 seconds.
Absolutely. I'll just take a second here to the chat as the puck goes all the way to touch up for Matt Tompkins. Gustav's getting into the chat here. Interesting that Dvorak is with Anderson and Newhook. And he says he would prefer Monahan with Newhook. Hughes did not give up 2 picks for him. He needs to be given the top spot in the lineup. I agree too. I think that Dvorak is more of a defensive center, so it'd be nice to get Newhook alongside Monahan. Shot from the point for Tampa Bay gets stopped by Montembeault and covered up there. It's not a whole lot going on this power play besides a little bit of passing around and then a far shot from the point that just trickles through to Montembeault for kind of an easy stop. But back to this lineup discussion that Gustav brought up. I think that both Anderson and Newhook between Monahan would make a lot more sense for this team, especially trying to generate some offense.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think the reason why Marty St. Louis didn't go that route, I think, for this game is just because that Monahan, Gallagher, and Pearson line has just been so good for the Montreal Canadiens pretty much out of the gate, to be honest. They've been strong and getting goals. So we could probably see some adjustments with that lineup change potentially for next game later on this week.
Or in-game would be nice too. Tampa Bay, less than a minute on the power play here. They break in wide open forward. That gets stopped by Montembeault. Montembeault looks way out of his net. Point is looking way up to the rafters. He's disappointed that he was unable to finish on that one.
Wow.
I'll have to see the replay here because this was a fast sequence from the Tampa Bay Lightning. You see they break it into the offensive zone here. And then perfect pass to point, wide open. And Montembeault didn't seem to know where the puck was whatsoever, but he stretches out just enough to stop that backhand from Braden Point. Keeps it at 4-0 for Tampa Bay. Wow.
Yeah, I think Braden Point would have wanted to put a little bit more backhand on that just to raise it a little bit over the pad. But great stuff from Montembeault and great entry by Kucherov there. Nice little dangle and pass over to Point.
Perfect setup too. Power play approaching the 20-second mark. Tampa Bay still has control of it. Shot that hits Montembeault, and that goes all the way to the other end. Approaching the 15 seconds left in this power play. Tampa might get one more opportunity on the rush. They'll take it. And that pass is errored, and Montreal will come away with it. They'll break it out. Finally, at even strength here. Caulfield comes out. Oh, wrister with a possible deflection in front. That's stopped by Tompkins. Good opportunity, I think. I think they would have liked to get a little bit more on that one. And Tampa comes back the other way. Glenn Denning there behind the Montreal net. They cycle it around. That one's not held in by Hedman. Montreal comes the other way. Great setup. That goes around to the point. Montreal wants something. That wrister gets deflected wide. Montreal still trying to move that puck around in the offensive zone. Suzuki's here. He tries to pass across the ice. That one's an errored pass. It gets deflected, and it goes all the way out of the zone. So Montreal trying to generate some opportunities here. They've had a few shots there. They're looking a little bit better in this period, but still nothing to show for it.
Yeah, they're looking good, but just got no finish, just can't seem to buy a goal right now. And I think if Montreal continues to push the way they are, they'll eventually will get one, and that should open it up for them to get their confidence back up and make it a very good third period.
Absolutely. So heading into the commercial break here, Tampa continues to be up 4-0. No goals in the second period as of yet. Like I said, Montreal looking a little bit better, but I think some of that is due to Tampa maybe going on their heels a bit. As soon as Tampa went on the power play, though, you really saw how dangerous they are. They can control the play whenever they want to, can't they?
Yo, yes, they can. That power play was on fire last night too. I'm pretty sure they went 3 for 4 on the power play last night against Toronto. But like you said, Michael, like once they got that power play or any power play in the game, they just really take over and control the momentum of the game.
Yeah, and let's take a second again to talk about that Arbor Xhekaj fight with Tanner Jeannot. Looks like they were talking a little bit about this leading up to it. I don't think it was necessarily a scripted fight per se, but you saw Xhekaj come out, go towards Jeannot and ask him if he wanted to go. He did, and Jeannot very quick to get a few licks on Xhekaj. Xhekaj maybe caught by surprise a little bit. Xhekaj got one good punch in, then knocked Jeannot's helmet off, but Jeannot ends up on top on that one. I think that might be the first fight that I've seen Arbor Xhekaj lose, to be completely honest.
Yeah, no, I honestly think Jano watched some videos of how Arbor Jacki fights and was prepared for that one for sure.
Absolutely. Since coming in, Sam Montembeault has looked pretty good so far. Tompkins currently with 0 goals against, as well as Montembeault, but he's not been challenged a ton. Couple of good saves, I think, in particularly a good save on Braden Point by Sam Montembeault. But again, it looked like he may have not even known where the puck is on that one. That might have been a little bit lucky, don't you think?
Yeah, honestly, I think that one for Braden Point was a lucky one. I know he knew there was a puck in front of him, but there's no way he would have saw that. That play was just way too quick for any goalie to see.
Absolutely. So back into the game here, less than 4 minutes to go in this period. Let us know in the chat. We haven't had a goal so far this period, so let us know who do you think is going to score next. I think we've heard from, there's a quick opportunity for Montreal there. That one gets stopped easily. I'll just take a second to look at the game as Montreal is having a couple shots on net. Tampa Bay doing their best to try and get in front. That shot goes wide, and Montreal still keeping the puck in, trying to cycle around, using their bodies very well. But Tampa Bay almost gets it out, but Gallagher does a great job keeping it in. That gets blocked. Gooley comes up into the offensive rush there, and finally Tampa Bay comes away with the puck. But I'll just say once again, let us know who do you think is going to score next. Do you think Montreal is going to score? And continue to let us know your predictions on how this game is going to end. What's the final score? Who's going to win? Get into the chat. Also, any comments or questions, let us know. So approaching the 2-minute 30 mark here, Montreal has possession. They're trying to get a goal. They've had their fair share of opportunities. Nothing yet. Tampa Bay has done a good job of keeping Montreal to the outside for the most part. Anderson's breaking in with almost an opportunity, but again, Tampa Bay defending this very, very well.
Yeah, that Tampa Bay Lightning team is playing defense very, very well, and shutting down the top lines for sure. And Tampa Bay coming in the offensive zone really knows where their players are setting up and really getting those opportunities.
Yeah. So under 2 minutes to go, Montreal in the offensive zone, but Tampa Bay getting in the way as they have been for the most part. They send it the length of the ice. That one, beautiful pass and a shot that goes wide for Tampa. A pass that went way up high and it landed almost perfectly on the Tampa Bay forward stick as he passed it off for a quick shot that went up and was deflected out over the boards. Montreal's had a couple opportunities. Just taking a look at that highlight there from Monahan. He's someone that we've talked about wanting to see him get on the board, wanting to see him break this open for Montreal, but not a whole lot of luck yet. And Montreal's going to have to take a D-zone face-off.
Yeah, judging by they just showed Monahan's face there. Judging by his reaction, he did not look too happy that he didn't bury that opportunity.
Absolutely. Andrew joins the chat. Hi guys, how's it going today? And hi back at you. We're doing good-ish. Tampa Bay's up 4-0. So it's a little bit of a disappointing game for the Montreal Canadiens so far, but I think this has been an entertaining game. So we appreciate you joining us, Andrew. Let us know, what do you think the final score is going to be, and who do you think is going to score next? Approaching 1 minute left in this game. Tampa Bay has possession offensive zone, and that goes off the post. Stamkos with a great shot after a beautiful feed. Montreal does take the puck out of the zone, though. You heard the iron on that one. That was such a great shot by Stamkos.
That release.
He's gonna be disappointed that he missed that one.
That
Montreal
release.
might get some opportunities before the end of the period. And sorry, what do you say, Nathan?
No, I'm just saying that release by Steven Stamkos is like you can't let him take those shots.
Absolutely, wide
You
open
really
Steven
can't.
Stamkos. Tampa Bay breaks up those Montreal opportunities. They'll send it down the length of the ice. No icing on there. Less than 30 seconds to go. Maybe one last rush up the ice, but no goals in this period. Shots currently 18-14. Tampa Bay up 4-0, and they're Montreal Canadiens trying to solve Tompkins. They cannot. Might get one more shot here. That's broken up by Tampa Bay as they get in the way of that one. Shot misses. That goes wide.
Oh.
That'll do it for this period, as that took 0. 4-0 for Tampa Bay. We'll take a break in just a few seconds here, but do you have any thoughts that you wanted to say about this period?
Well, at the beginning of, or in the first intermission, we were talking about how we didn't see much of the Monahan line. I'm going to say this. The Monahan line, I think, was the shining line for Montreal through that whole period with, multiple chances, keeping that puck in the offensive zone. But Montreal needs to bury on some of these chances.
Yeah, they need someone to finish at some point. Tompkins is 0-2. He's got a sub-900 record so far in the NHL. So they're going to have to solve Tompkins at some point. Otherwise, this has not been a great game offensively for Montreal. So 4-0 Tampa Bay. Let's take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you in a moment.
Right. Well, that was an interesting period. That was an interesting period for sure. Well, how are we feeling, viewers, about that period? Let's hear your comments. Let's see the comments come in the chat, and let's hear how you guys feel about that second period.
Yeah, message coming in from Gustav here. I'll let you read that one out and discuss it for a second.
All right. So Gustav says Slafkovsky is having a bit of trouble on that first line. Has had a hard time using his body effectively. More leg and core workouts this summer for him, surely. You know what, Gustav, I agree with you on that. He's been on his backside a couple times this game. Not finding his feet when chasing and causing himself to take a penalty. Slafkovsky really needs to change his game up a little bit, and I think that will start off in the gym for sure.
Yeah, I agree too. It looked like Slafkovsky spent most of the summer working out. You saw some videos and some pictures of that. He was recovering from an injury last season that cut him short, just a little bit over 30 games in that one. But once again, we're seeing him being pretty soft on his skates. The most entertaining part of this period began with Slafkovsky just falling flat on his back. there was a hit from Jeannot, but Jeannot's much smaller than Slafkovsky. You saw the size difference there. And this isn't even the first time I've seen Slafkovsky just fall flat on his back like that. That was kind of it's kind of silly at this point. You see a big, strong guy like Slafkovsky. Part of the reason why you drafted him is because of that size, and for him to not be able to handle any kind of physical play is super disappointing, don't you think?
Yeah, no, that's for a kid his size or a young adult his size, it sucks to see him, being beat by the body as bad as he is. Definitely needs to figure out what he needs to do to make that a little bit better for himself.
Absolutely. One of the things I wanted to mention here is, and actually Gustav brought this up a little bit during the period, but we didn't have a chance to get into it too much. But Alex Newhook started the season on the wing. Doc got injured, and then he was moved to center for a bit. Now he's back on the wing with Dvorak coming back. He's on the wing of Dvorak. So far, Newhook, he's been okay. I believe he's got 6 points in 11 games so far. What do you think about Alex Newhook's play? You see his speed, you see the potential, but I can't help but feel a little bit underwhelmed.
You know what? I agree with you, Michael. It's just he came out, first game. What did he get? 3 points, 2 points. He got a couple points anyways in that first game. Looked very good, like he said, beside Doc. But evidently, without Doc in the lineup, for Slafkovsky and Newhook, they seem to both be struggling. And honestly, for what we gave up for Newhook, I would like to see a little bit more polish in his game and see him get on that score sheet a little bit more.
Absolutely. Just a little update on that second period. Shots were 9 apiece. Tampa Bay still leading 4-0, but Montreal doing a decent job evening out the shot count, at least in that period. Tampa Bay had more shots in the first, so they're still a little bit ahead in that department, but a much better effort and a much better period for Montreal. I think there's a little bit more energy coming on their end, but still, they cannot solve this Matt Tompkins. Matt Tompkins, he's looked okay so far. I don't think he's had to make any great saves, but he's not had to. Sometimes as a goalie, the best thing you can do is just be solid, be in position, and do your best. And his defense has done a great job of helping cover up some of his holes and that rebound control as well.
Yeah, no, Tompkins has been playing, fairly well for the shots he's been given, and I think the biggest opportunity for the Montreal Canadiens was that shot by Cole Caulfield with the blocker save by Tompkins. But credit is, credit to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and like you said, of their defensive play, keeping that puck out of the high danger scoring chances in those areas, and keeping that puck out of the zone.
Absolutely. Caden Gooley returned from injury just last week. So far, he has looked pretty good. I think that he's been a very important player on this Montreal defense. Even though he's had a few injury issues in his early career, this is just his sophomore year. And I think he plays like one of the veterans. We talked about Mike Matheson's struggles, but Caden Gooley has really just been the anchor for the Montreal defense.
Yeah, no, Caden Gooley, he's been playing very well. He's been able to, like you said, when he came back from injury, he's, it looks like he's just been playing right where he left off. And also, Gooley plays against, most teams' top lines. So, for him to be able to get those stats against like some of the best players on every team is good to see.
Absolutely. I really have been impressed by Caden Gooley. I think he's probably one of the better young defensemen in this league. You talked about how you've not liked Matheson's play so far on the power play. You'd like to see Gooley get into that position. Gooley seems to be more of a defense first kind of guy, but do you think he could develop some offensive abilities along the way?
Yeah, honestly, I think he could. Like, he's a big frame. He's a good puck mover. He's very good defensively. So if he can, translate some of this offensive opportunities and into his gameplay, I know he's going to be able to kind of be a good player on the power play and defensively for Montreal.
Absolutely. Just a little reminder here in the chat to send us your questions. Let us know what's on your mind. A little bit of an update from around the league here. The Wild currently trailing the New York Islanders 2-1 in the second period. So most of the other games around the league, much fewer goals being scored at the moment. But so far in this one, it's Tampa Bay with 4, all in the first period, nothing in the second period. Another update comes in here. The Detroit Red Wings have 0, then the New York Rangers have 3, so the Rangers are getting close to beating out what the Tampa Bay Lightning have done. They're in the second period. The New York Rangers, bit of an underrated start for them. I think the Detroit Red Wings are another team that got off to a hot start, so it's nice to see that the New York Rangers have been able to handle them quite well. More updates coming in. Still 1-1 for the Sabres and the Hurricanes right now. That's at the end of the second period as that trickles in. Just a little reminder here. We do have some stuff to promote. Nathan, I'll let you take it away. If we have any Montreal Canadiens fans tuning in, where can they find all the best coverage for the Montreal Canadiens?
Well, Michael, you can, everyone want to find our content. It's on thn.com/Montreal. Also, all the content shared on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Absolutely. At Rocket Sports on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We have all the best Montreal Canadiens coverage at thn.com/Montreal. So please check that out. We have all sorts of game day coverage on there as well. And we have some podcasts. The Canadiens Connection, you can follow it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Habs Connection. You can find it on any of your favorite podcasting apps, and you can find us at CanadiensConnection.fm every single Saturday. It's our Rocket Sports Premier Montreal Canadiens podcast. A few more minutes before we head into the third period. Do you have any final predictions on what might happen in this game? Will Montreal finally get on the board?
Yeah, honestly, I know Montreal will get on the board in that third period. It looks like in that second period they wanted to, take that next step, get that first goal in the net for themselves. But I either think Gooley or Caulfield will get that next goal for the Montreal Canadiens.
Absolutely. So what's your final thought on what the ending score is going to be? Do you think it's going to be kind of close, or do you think Tampa Bay is going to still be able to come away with a victory?
Well, I'm going to change my beginning of the game's prediction. I think it's going to be a 5-1 victory for Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
I think Tampa Bay will hold them off and get another goal in that third period.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And while we have a chance here, we did get a pretty awesome message and a little bit of a donation from someone tuning in, Richard Cochran. We appreciate that story. Just to reiterate what he said, in memory of my late father, a lifelong Canadiens fan, and to age myself, my father met Maurice Richard. Such a great message. We appreciate hearing that story. We'd love to hear more about it too, Richard. Feel free to send us more comments and messages about that. And what an amazing opportunity meeting one of the Habs best in Maurice Richard. Just absolutely incredible, and really makes my day to see that. I appreciate that message, Richard.
Yeah, that's a very good story to hear, and it's always great to see and hear fans getting to meet their idols and have these opportunities. So very, very great story, and glad to see it.
Absolutely. Right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning, I mentioned that they have fewer wins than Montreal, but they've gone to overtime quite a bit, so they've gotten the loser point, and that's really helped them out in the standings. Even though they've been without Vasilevsky, Jonas Johansson's been in there. He's filled in pretty well. I think that Tompkins, he's gone in 2 games. He's lost them both, but tonight he's been looking pretty good. I think this Tampa Bay team, do you think it's the goaltenders that are helping them out, or do you think they're just so good that it doesn't matter?
You know what? Tampa Bay, they've been one of those premier teams, obviously since 2020, since they won the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row. But you also got to give credit to where credit's due as well. The goaltenders have been playing very well in the absence of Vasilevsky. So I think it's honestly a whole team game plan there. It's just a big team effort.
Absolutely. So, Jonas Johansson currently 5-1-4. He has two shutouts. I mentioned the Tampa Bay currently second in the league in shutouts after 1 month, essentially. Right now, he's got a 907 save percentage and a 317 goals against average. So his stats are a little bit up and down, but pretty impressive that he's managed to have two shutouts within the month of October.
Yeah, no, it is very good to, it's very good play to see, two shots in the month of October for them. And honestly, I hope it doesn't turn out to be another one.
Absolutely, I agree with that as well. I'm hearing it's actually 4-0 Rangers now, so the Rangers doing their best impression of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Uh, Detroit Red Wings, I guess, having not a so great game tonight after a pretty hot start by them. Taking things back to Montreal a little bit, though, right now, I think something that is interesting is that Allen he seemed to be the better goaltender throughout the month of October for the Canadiens. He was very hot. He stole at least 3 wins for the Montreal Canadiens. And then tonight, pulled after 4 goals. I don't think he even made it to the 10-minute mark of that first period. Do you think this was just an off game by Allen? Do you blame the team in front of him for this? What's gone on that's led to Jake Allen being taken out of the net so early on?
Well, from what I saw, I think it's a 50-50 split. Obviously, there's a couple of goals there that Allen would have liked to have back, like that big rebound that Amy pointed out earlier in the show. And that fourth goal where it just kind of rolled down his back, like you were saying, yeah, I'm sure he'd want those two back. But also that slow start that Montreal Canadiens have had, in that first period, really only getting their first 2 shots on net on that power play they had, and not being able to really get too much going after the Tampa Bay Lightning got those 2 goals.
Yeah, absolutely. This feels like a game that probably ended after the Tampa Bay Lightning scored that first one. Less than a minute in, it was Kucherov that scored very quickly. And since then, it's just been all Tampa. Montreal's had a few opportunities here in the second. Their play was better, but not a whole lot to show for it. 0 for 4 on the power play is Montreal right now. That's not good. Marty St. Louis and Alex Burrows are going to want to make some adjustments at some point. I've suggested, and I think you agree, that maybe it's up to personnel at this point. But
Yeah.
that system too that they have going, it looks like they don't have a whole they don't get too many shots on net either. They seem to try and find the perfect opportunities, but they don't seem to come, especially against this great Tampa Bay defense.
Yeah, this Tampa Bay defense is they're putting on a clinic on the penalty kill and really minimizing the chances, like you were saying, Michael, with on the power play for Montreal. And honestly, like just like you were saying, like Montreal's trying to look for those good passes. I think they need to, like I said earlier in the show, like you said earlier in the show, they just need to throw that puck on net and see what will happen. When you throw the puck on net, good things could happen as long as you're in the right areas. So I think Montreal really needs to dive in and do that in the third period.
Absolutely. That Tampa Bay power play has had a little bit more success. Currently, they are 1 for 3. Their power play in the NHL heading into tonight is actually the second best power play behind the New Jersey Devils. We've talked about some of the offensive threats that this team has, but their system too looks very, very good. They have an easy time finding really good opportunities. What do you think that they're doing to find those open shots?
Well, honestly, I think this Tampa Bay team, their core has been together for a long time. They know kind of where each other are, where they're going to be. Montreal, like they're still very young, and most of the defensemen have been in the league, for a season and a half. So there's still some adjustment periods. I think Montreal needs to do, but it will happen over time. But Tampa Bay, you can't go wrong with the way they're playing defense on that penalty kill.
Absolutely. One of the things I mentioned off the top of the show is that Tampa Bay's key to victory might honestly just be just kind of disturbing Montreal and convincing Montreal to be a little bit undisciplined. Montreal is actually heading in tonight was third in the league in penalty minutes per game, getting about 14.5, and Montreal only 3 penalties tonight. I guess 3 penalty kills tonight, but they did get into into a fight. So maybe that adds on a few extra minutes. But Montreal, a few undisciplined penalties. Are you a little bit disappointed in any of those penalties that they took?
Yeah, I mean the biggest one for me, which got Tampa Bay their second goal of the game, would be that Slafkovsky penalty. That was one that you shouldn't, if your feet aren't moving, don't be trying to grab, don't swing your stick. Like these things just can't happen in the professional NHL.
Absolutely. So into the third period we go. Puck drop, and Tampa Bay has possession right now. I'll just give a little bit of a shout out to one of the guys in the chat there, Andrew, letting us know that the Rangers are up 5-0 now. So they've beat out the Tampa Bay Lightning for the most goals tonight. Montreal down 4-0 right now. Shots 17-13 for the Tampa Bay Lightning at the moment. Tampa Bay has possession. They're going to head into the offensive zone, and bit of an opportunity that's stopped by Montembeault and covered up. Question coming in from Canadiens Connection: are Habs fans happy with Alex Newhook, or would they have preferred the 31st and 37th pick in the 2023 draft? Actually, we'd like to open this up to all the people viewing tonight. Get into the chat and let us know your thoughts with this one. That was a steep price for Alex Newhook. Maybe in my thoughts, it's a little bit early to start looking into this, but you do expect more from Newhook. 6 points in 11 games is not worth a first and a second, to be completely honest.
No, I completely agree with you, Michael. I mean, if you would ask me this on game one, I'd be like, yeah, great. But like you said, Michael, like you said, it's still too early to tell on if it was a good trade or not.
Absolutely. Get our graphic back up there. That Montreal bench, just looking at some of their postures, they look kind of defeated. I hope that they have enough in them to try and keep pushing this here. I don't know if it's going to be a comeback tonight, but it'd be nice to see them at least get a little bit of life. We know they're in a rebuild, so it'd be nice to have at least some entertaining hockey. Oh, great opportunity there. Great. That was very close. Anderson's had a few opportunities, and now they're scrumming behind the net.
Oh, Anderson's getting in that.
Yeah, Anderson with a rush into the pile here. Matheson's late to join. Tempers are flaring. You see Jeannot out there. I mentioned that he can be a bit of a disturber. I wonder if we're going to get any penalties out of this, because that seemed to happen, and then you saw it. Anderson goes running into the pile. What do you think spurred that on?
Oh, you know what? I think it's just a little bit of a scrum that happened in front of the goalie, right? And like you were saying, tempers are flaring in Montreal. They're getting all hot and heavy.
Anderson with a pretty good backhand opportunity. He was wide open up front, and he took a shot on Tompkins. That was handled pretty easily.
You see his on that backhand.
Yeah, that could have been a little bit better. But you did see beforehand, Anderson made a pretty big hit on the Tampa Bay player behind the net.
Yeah.
And then that's what seems to have led to a scrum. There might be some penalties happening here. Cirelli and Newhook. So some roughing calls there for the scrum after the play. I believe that's going to lead to some 4-on-4 hockey right now. I think that would be pretty entertaining between these two teams. I think this actually would be a good opportunity for Newhook, but I don't think we'll see that happen. Looks like Monahan's out there. Lots of open ice. This could be an opportunity for Montreal to break it open.
Yeah,
Matheson showing some speed here.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good next 2 minutes to see what Montreal can do here.
Bodies up front. Looks like Anderson's going flying. He's fallen down a few times. Things are getting rough. Just 20 seconds into this 4-on-4 here. Tampa Bay finally gets possession back. Let's see if they can generate anything. Almost an on-man break there for Stamkos with a little bit of space, but that pass misses. Tampa Bay manages to hang on to the puck, though. Chernak sends that behind the net for Tampa to pick up. I'm feeling a little bit worried.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the Montreal Canadiens right now. Like you see, I find that I'm seeing a bunch of skaters just like on their backsides.
Yeah, I agree as well. Montreal does come away with the puck here. A minute to go in the 4-on-4. They kind of flip it in and they'll go for a change. Take a second here just to get back into the chat. Gustav's in here and he says, I would have liked to keep the second round pick. Montreal tends to have success in the second round. That's a good call too. I believe PK Subban was a second round pick, and that's a pretty good player. There are
Yeah.
some others as well to mention, but actually Montreal gets a quick opportunity there. That's gloved down by Tompkins. Kind of a wide open look, but Tompkins not giving Montreal a whole lot of net to shoot at. Easy save. He didn't even have to go down to get that one.
Yeah, no, Tompkins is, staying composed in the net, not letting anything phase him, and he's doing everything he can to keep that puck out of the net. So,
Yeah. But back to this New Hook conversation a little bit, getting to Gustav here. That the first round pick that Montreal did give up was quite late. That second round pick was quite early in the second round. So very steep price. I think a few years ago that probably would have been more like 2 second round picks. But
yeah.
again, you're hoping that New Hook can find his game and like I don't know. He has his moments. He has his speed. You see it, but he's not been able to put it together yet.
Yeah, and it's difficult to see, but again, like you mentioned, Michael, it's 11, 12 games into the season, and we're hoping it could turn around for him.
Montreal almost with a great opportunity. That one gets deflected wide. 4-on-4 is over. All the players are out. Tampa Bay leading shots 19-15 at the moment, and this gets whistled down. Montreal back to the power play. They've been over 4 tonight. Is the fifth one going to finally break open Matt Tompkins? Because this Montreal power play has been absolutely terrible so far.
Yeah.
So there you go. Tripping call for Tampa Bay. Just taking a look at the replay. Yeah, that's on Caulfield. Good job drawing the call there. Caulfield showing a little bit of speed, turning away, pivoting so that he could not be defended easily, and then getting tripped ultimately. So Montreal with an opportunity here. Let's see if they can get something. And errant pass to Tampa Bay. That goes all the way to the other zone. That's Glendening to the box for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Currently on 4 attempts, Montreal has 7 shots on net on the power play. Tampa Bay takes the puck here, and almost a great opportunity as Montreal does intercept it to get in the way and prevent a cross-ice pass for another great opportunity. Tampa causing some trouble shorthanded.
Yeah, no, Tampa Bay is just it's not looking good for the Montreal Canadiens right now on the power play.
Absolutely. About a minute 20 to go here. And again, Tampa Bay sends it all the way down to the other end of the ice. Montembeault out to play the puck. Montreal, again, not getting set up. Not a whole lot of structure to this power play, unfortunately. About a minute to go. They're going to rush in. Let's see if they can get something this time. Matheson holding the puck at the point. They'll pass it around, cycle it a bit. Looking for an open spot to Caulfield, but he doesn't shoot. Cross ice. Oh, almost an opportunity. Anderson can't get the shot off. This one still cycles around. Errant pass to Suzuki. Tampa has an opportunity to grab the puck here, but Suzuki comes away with it. Matheson with an error pass that bounces off of Tampa Bay. This just error passes is the theme here.
Oh, man.
And all the way to the other end, and the fans are booing. I do not blame them. Unfortunately, this is not a great game at home for Montreal. Everything seemed to be looking like it should have been in Montreal's favor coming into tonight. Tampa Bay, second game of the back-to-back. Matt Tompkins, their AHL goaltender, making the start tonight. And they can't figure it out. Another penalty coming up to Tampa. So a bit of a surprise there. Montreal currently 0 for 5 on the power play. They'll have opportunity 6. Tampa Bay's up 4-0, and they're being a little bit undisciplined within their own zone. What it is. We'll see. Does the Montreal power play even become a factor at this point?
You'd hope so if you're getting 6 opportunities that you cash in on one of them, right? Like it's understanding why the fans are somewhat booing the Montreal Canadiens. Like this power play is just not clicking.
Yeah, pretty disappointing showing from Montreal tonight. Tampa sends that all the way to the other zone. Brendan Hagel to the box for tripping. Montreal is going to try to get the puck out of their own zone here. errant passes have been a theme on that last power play. I think they could have had some opportunities, but again, they couldn't make it work. Tampa Bay once again sends it all the way to the other end. Montembeault, all he's done this game is come out to play the puck when Tampa sends it back to him. So
this penalty kill is they're on point tonight. They're not letting nothing in.
I think some credit goes to Tampa Bay here for how their penalty kill has gone. They've done a good job getting their sticks and their bodies in the way. Opportunity in front. That one gets shut down. Another shot. That one gets stopped. And again, Pearson can't score. Slafkovsky had a shot earlier. He couldn't solve Tompkins. And wow, Tompkins doing his best in the net. Few juicy rebounds, but he's done a good job handling most of these.
Yeah, great opportunities for the Montreal Canadiens. And like you said, Tompkins is like, I'm going to keep that puck out of that net. I want that shutout.
Yeah, Slafkovsky had a couple good opportunities in front. He could not finish on that one. I think if Slafkovsky was a little bit stronger and did not go down so easily, he could have actually had a better opportunity to score there. But he fell down quite easily, and that led to Tompkins being able to get his pad in front of that puck. Montreal still on the power play. Is anything going to happen?
That was their best opportunity right there with Slafkovsky's.
Yeah. How are we feeling tonight? Let us know in the chat. You disappointed with this power play so far? What do you think they're doing wrong? Is Montreal ever going to score on the power play again? We want to hear from you. Let us know what you're thinking about right now. And right now we're in a stoppage of play here. Top unit back out to Suzuki to take the draw. About a minute and 1 second left on the power play. Montreal wins the draw, but they win it so good it goes way out of the zone, and they're going to have to go back and regroup. This is comical at this point, how this power play has gone.
Yeah, I'm almost lost for words. It's disappointing. It really is.
Yeah, and I think Montreal has lost a lot of confidence. Errant pass, easy pass. It was just a handoff, and they missed it. So I don't know what's going on. 30 seconds left on the power play.
Very unfortunate, that's for sure. With all these,
good setup, Suzuki. Oh, they get one. Suzuki hammers it with a slap shot. Finally, they solve Matt Tompkins. Suzuki not even celebrating, just looking up. He'll go across and give everyone a fist bump, but even after scoring, he doesn't look that happy. I agree. This is my reaction. Ooh, finally. Thank you, Gustav.
Yes. That's Gustav for sure. Oh, I was going to say, they go 0 for 6. Like, that's a real big problem.
Yeah, it really is. Just look at the body language here. Suzuki doesn't even celebrate that one. Caulfield doesn't even celebrate that one. 1 for 6. There you go. And there you go. Amy back in the chat. Susie with the power play goal. Wait, didn't Nathan say 5-1 the final score? A good catch.
New prediction.
So 4-1 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal Canadiens finally solve Matt Tompkins here. And wow, just I don't know, any chance of a comeback? I feel like even once Montreal scored, they just looked deflated. Like you saw, and I mentioned a few times, Suzuki, Caulfield, no celebration on that whatsoever.
Yeah, they honestly, for a comeback, I mean, anything is possible in this day in NHL. But like, I'm gonna be like, in my opinion, I don't think they're gonna come back, but I think they're gonna, make it interesting. Hopefully, to finish the remainder of the third period.
Yeah. The question coming in: how much time left till it's over? It's looking like about 14 minutes left. I don't know, scoring 3 more goals to tie it up. Is that even possible? We'll see. Montreal, I hope they try. I hope they play right until the end here. But disappointing performance in front of the home crowd. We got Amy coming into the chat, and I'll let you read this one off, Nathan.
Montreal, where young goaltenders who don't play for the Habs go to get their first NHL win.
Yeah, I agree.
So true. So true. I had a buddy of mine at work tell me that too. Shout out Michael
Tompkins,
Vincent.
yeah, there you go. I said shut out a few times to try and help things out, but anyway, Tompkins with on his way to his first NHL win, over 2 so far this season. He's not been great, and as Canadiens connection joins in, shout out Jinx. You guys talked about the Lightning and their shutouts. Nicely done. I was trying. I didn't want to say it, but I was trying for you guys. So the captain does get on the board finally on the power play. About 30 seconds left on the power play. Suzuki with the slap shot. I think Tampa looked a little bit tired at that point, and then that beats Tompkins quite cleanly. Don't know that there was much of a screen in front, but there we go. Back into the game here. About 13 minutes left in the period. Montreal maybe has some life. That's assisted by Caulfield and Monahan, by the way. In the Tampa Bay zone, Tampa Bay does have possession. They break it out. Montreal collects it at center. They're going to try to put it back in. And Pizzetta with the slap shot. That doesn't go in. Montreal flip the puck around and goal by the fourth line. Pizzetta, after going down hard into the boards in the first period, Pizzetta comes back and the mustache man with the goal. 4-2 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Montreal, 2 unanswered. Maybe there is life finally. Pizzetta doing a good job creating havoc in front. Not sure how that gets by Tompkins. Bit of a weird goal, to be completely honest.
Well, who's this at? Is that
I believe that was Pizzetta. Pizzetta's celebrating like it was his. But like Amy says, wait, what? The comeback is on. We talked about it. It could happen. Montreal does have some life in that fourth line. It does come out. And it looks like it is Pizzetta. It's his first goal of the season, assisted by Jake Evans and Caden Gooley. Tampa Bay getting a few opportunities, stopped by Montembeault. Montreal finally comes away with the puck here. Tampa Bay giving a little bit of trouble on the forecheck. They break back in. Brister stopped by Montembeault. Juicy rebound doesn't go anywhere. So now Tampa Bay's woken up.
Yeah.
Slap shot. That one gets stopped and covered by Montembeault. And it's looking like a scrum in front of the net. Montembeault drops the stick. Xhekaj in the middle of it. Looks like Xhekaj is on top of a referee, actually. Oh, he's going to want to be careful here. But we've seen a few scrums by the Tampa Bay net. Now we're seeing one in front of Montreal. Looks like Xhekaj could be going off now. Some more pushing and shoving. Some blood, actually. What is going on? Absolute chaos. As
Janot and Xhekaj.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
But Xhekaj gets knocked down pretty easily there. Then he starts swinging. And what I'm looking at is Xhekaj actually coming down on top of one of the officials, trying to hold him back.
Wow.
Janot's headed to his bench. 4 minutes for roughing on Montreal. So I believe that was 2 minutes for roughing for Tampa Bay. Xhekaj, and I believe it's going to be Janot. Quick question coming in from a user here. I need a Caulfield to shoot 3 on goal. Do you think it's going to happen? I'll leave this to you, Nathan. You seem to be the one for predictions tonight.
Well, as much as I love Caulfield, he'll have 1 on goal. I'll say he's got 1. I don't think he'll have 3.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it looks like he's got a bet going on. So, anyways, you're helping out with that one, Nathan. But waiting to sort some things out here. Marty seems to want an explanation. Marty St. Louis, that is.
Yeah, he's
asking if it's 4-on-4, but no, it's.
Wow.
So, gonna wait for some clarification here as to what exactly is going to happen. I don't know if there's going to be a power play, if this is going to be a 4-on-4, or how this will play out. But man in the box for each team at the moment. I think deservedly so. I think Xhekaj was a little bit too vicious within that scrum, especially trying to be restrained by that referee. So let's see how it goes. It looks like 4-0 for Montreal, 5-0 for Tampa Bay.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be a Tampa power play. I guess the extra man for Montreal, extra 2 minutes for Xhekaj.
Yeah. Extra 2 for those punches, probably.
Absolutely. So Tampa back to the power play here. They've had some success tonight. So far, just 1 for 4, but that's better than Montreal, who's only 1 for 6 at the moment.
Yes. Yeah, no, Tampa Bay's power play has been, like I said, in the last couple nights, they've been very good. So we gotta look to see them. Hopefully, Montreal keeps that puck out of the net.
Montreal had a 2-on-1 opportunity, but they couldn't solve that. The Tampa Bay defense gets in the way to break that up. I think they could have shot that a little bit sooner, but they were having a hard time making up their mind of what they wanted to do there. About a minute 10 left on the Tampa power play.
Yeah, they seem to, try to find those passes instead of just putting those pucks on net. I found that seems to be the trend in this game for them.
So Montreal trying to clear the puck out. Tampa manages to hold it in. Puck goes behind the net. Some battles going on there. Montreal does prevail on the side of the boards. They shoot it all the way down the ice. So Tompkins out to play it there. Tampa Bay, I think they've woken up a little bit. They went to sleep for a while. Montreal potted 2 goals there pretty quickly, and now we're seeing a little bit more of that usual Tampa Bay.
Yeah, no, like you said, Michael, they Tampa Bay was a little bit of snoozing a little bit after they scored that 4th goal. But giving Montreal these chances and woken them up.
Good shot by Montembeault, or good save by Montembeault with the blocker. Bit of a rebound that goes all the way out there. 5 seconds left on the power play. That's going to do it for Tampa. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed that Tampa hasn't converted more on that power play. They've looked good so far, but
yeah, the chances have been there, but so far Montembeault's kept that puck out of the net, which has been great to see.
Montreal with a couple opportunities here. Wrist shot gets stopped by Tompkins. Tampa doing a good job breaking up some of those Montreal passes still. They hold possession. Gallagher behind the net. Oh, missed shot by Pearson. That goes all the way to the point. Tampa blocks it and flips it out of the zone. Montreal trying to get another opportunity. That one gets stopped and covered up. Taking a look back at the chat here, a few messages came in, but the play was pretty active, so I couldn't get to it right away. From Gustav, you've seen someone wearing a Slafkovsky jersey.
What?
So way to cheer for our young players. Kind of a disappointing there. And Canadiens connection hops in. Habs fan behind John Cooper with the Canadiens jersey nameplate Leaf Suck number 67. So perhaps a bit of clarification there. False alarm. I appreciate the Leaf Suck actually, and the 67 number. Beautiful. Love that. Thank you for the clarification on that one. Canadiens connection. Doing a good job there. And for those still around, Canadiens Connection is actually the podcast I host. We're part of the Hockey Podcast Network, who's hosting the stream tonight, and we're very grateful for it. Make sure you subscribe to it. You can find us at Habs Connection on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, you can find us at CanadiensConnection.fm. And for any Habs fans currently in the stream, we provide a ton of Habs-based content. Nathan, where can people find all they need to know about the Montreal Canadiens?
You can find all our content on thn.com/Montreal. And they're also shared on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter as well.
Yeah, just make sure you're following at Rocket Sports, and you can find all that great content there. Right now, the Tampa Bay Lightning currently holding on to a 4-2 lead over the Montreal Canadiens in the third period. About 10 minutes left, it looks like. Tampa Bay got off to an early 4-0 lead. If we want to just take a look at the box score here, it was Kucherov less than a minute in, then Nick Paul at 15-17. Followed by Barry Boulet on the power play and Mikey Ayisimont. Montreal potted a couple goals. It was Suzuki with the slap shot on the power play, the sixth power play of the game. Montreal finally breaks through. And then Michael Pezzetta with a bit of a battle in front of the net, and he pokes one past Matt Tompkins to get his first on the year. Let's see if the comeback is underway. Tampa Bay livening up a little bit. They seem to go to sleep after that 4-0 lead after the first. Montreal's done a good job sticking with it and trying to make the comeback.
Yeah, no, it's been a fun third period so far, and I'm hoping to see Montreal, keeps it interesting and/or comes back from that deficit, right? So.
Yeah, some more poise coming from Montreal when they have the puck there. You saw in the offensive zone, those are some crisp passes, tape to tape, and then a juicy rebound by Matt Tompkins that's collected by Tampa Bay. They get into the Montreal zone. Kucherov with a bit of a shot. That one ends up on the Montreal stick, and an error pass trying to get to Anderson, but that misses him, and it's going to be an icing. So maybe a tired group for Montreal going to have to stick out on the ice, and a very important face off here. Hopefully they can win this one. If not, I think Tampa Bay is going to have some good possession time in the offensive zone.
Yeah, no, it's those guys, the unit that's out there right now, they look pretty tired out there. So hopefully we can win that and get that puck out of the zone.
Absolutely. They won the face-off. Quick shot from the point. Montreal almost clears it after that. They finally do get a hold of it. Tampa really doing a good job stripping the puck from Montreal. Shot. That one gets stopped by Montembeault. Rebound goes out. Montreal finally takes the puck back. They try to flip it out to center ice. They'll go for a change, but it's a whistle down.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, so high stick there. Montreal does get their change, which is very luckily. Right now, shots being led by Tampa 25-23. So Montreal doing a good job catching up. They've really had their foot on the pedal in this period, especially since that Suzuki goal.
Yeah, no, they've been they're doing a lot better. Like you said earlier in the period, they made a couple crisp passes. Were poised with the puck a little bit. So hopefully they can continue that and get 2 more goals.
Absolutely. Tampa currently with possession, flipping the puck out all the way to the Montreal zone. Montreal is going to pick it up. They'll try to break out here, but Tampa doing a good job disrupting some of these breakout passes as they have all game. Finally, Tampa does come away with the puck, though, and now they're going to try to regroup.
Yeah, so Tampa Bay's been very good with those, puck retrievals, getting the puck back from the Canadiens, and just being all around that puck. They've been very, very good with that. So,
absolutely. So approaching the 7.5-minute mark here, Tampa Bay currently with possession. Bit of a mixed crowd reaction at the moment. Montembeault out to play the puck. Does a good job there keeping away from Tampa Bay, actually. This one goes all the way to the Tampa zone. Tompkins now has to come out. That's an error pass to Montreal, and they almost get away with it. Tampa Bay dodges a bullet as that goes all the way to the Montreal zone. I believe that deflected off a leg.
Yeah, that would have been a nice little break for the Montreal Canadiens and become 1 goal closer to come back.
Absolutely. Bit of a scary moment here. This puck trickles just past the blue line. Montreal is going to have to regroup a bit. Tampa currently holding on to possession, trying to slow things down, find the right opportunity to break out. That one gets stopped. But do you think this comeback is on? We've joked about this a little bit, but it hasn't happened quite yet. Although Montreal is within 2, do you think that this is enough to be within firing range?
You know what? Like I said earlier, we're in the modern day NHL, right? So anything is possible. But as long as Montreal can continue fighting, you know what, they have a fighting chance to come back.
Ooh, almost a breakaway pass there. That one just misses. Tampa doing a good job disrupting that puck once again. So Tampa is going to flip this one out to center ice, try to break it in, but they're going to go off on a change first. This has been a pretty entertaining third period so far. Not going to lie, parts of this game were not that great, especially when Tampa was up on a 4-0 lead. The hockey just was not that entertaining, to be honest. But now we have a game. Tampa's really woken up. They're trying to get something going. Montreal doing a good job holding things off a little bit. Montembeault's kind of stabilized things a little bit. I think that since coming in, he's done a relatively good job. Bit of a close call in that first period with Montembeault. That chance was with Brayden Point, I believe, on the backhand.
Oh yes.
Montembeault stretched out just enough to stop that one. Could have been a different game, but I think Montembeault's done just enough to keep things pretty close here.
Yeah, no, Montembeault's done great since coming in for relief of Jake Allen. Let's what do the viewers think? Or is Montreal going to come back and tie it up, or is Tampa Bay going to run away with it and finish the game 4-2, 5-2? Let's hear your predictions. Let's hear what you guys think.
Yeah, we officially know that Nathan's wrong with that 5-1 prediction. That one did not hold up, unfortunately, for him. But I guess good thing for the Montreal Canadiens at the very least that they are only down by 2 now. 2 straight in this period. They've looked much better. They've started to have some life. But again, I feel like even once they have a little bit more poise, that some of those passes start to miss, and they miss out on a lot of opportunities because of that. Just taking a quick look in the chat here. Canadiens Connection tunes in. A feisty game. Next game for these two teams is New Year's Eve in Tampa. So I think we're going to want to tune into this one. I think Arbor-Xhekaj is going to have something. I think Arbor-Xhekaj's got this one circled on the calendar already. He's going to want to say something to Tanner Jeannot. Gustav comes in. I'll let you read this one out.
I can see Montreal scoring a third goal, but not a complete comeback. Yeah, you know, that's something that's that could definitely happen.
Looks like he's a little bit disappointed in their bet, as Caulfield did not do what they were hoping would happen, unfortunately. But I guess back to Gustav for a minute here. He can see Montreal scoring a third goal, but not completing the comeback. That would be very Montreal to do, I think, based on how this season has gone so far. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I completely agree with that. You know, it wouldn't be an attempt to come back without Montreal falling short a goal, or, you know. So
yeah. So Tampa in the offensive zone here. They're doing their best to try and get the puck. Battle along the boards at the moment. They get the puck away. It looked like it was snatched up with the gloves, and now that puck goes up and over the glass. So let's see. Tampa is making another push. They might even get the 5th goal tonight, by the way they're playing at the moment. Approaching the 5-minute mark, 4-2 Tampa Bay. They lead shots 31-24. You have to remember, after that first period, it was 4-0 Tampa Bay, shots 10-5 for Tampa. So things are changing quite a bit. Montreal very much not the better team, but they are showing their hearts off in this third period.
yeah, no, it's good. It's good to see the fight back mentality. You know, previous seasons we've seen Montreal fall to a 4-0 deficit and really lose the game brutally. So it's good to see a little bit of fight in the Montreal Canadiens in this game.
Absolutely. Tampa doing a good job holding the puck in. Almost a great pass. That one gets broken up. I believe it was Matheson that went sliding. Now there's a stick in the middle of the ice. Montreal does prevail out of the zone. They dump and chase, and we're going to get... That's an icing.
What?
The crowd doesn't like it. They're booing. I'm a little bit confused about this. I'll have to see the replay. I thought that was a little bit past the red line.
Yeah.
But just taking a quick look here. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Oh.
Okay, but again, I think Montreal may have been a little bit ahead of Tampa getting to the puck, but the discretion of the referees, that's how it goes sometimes. It's going to be called.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
man.
actually, they're going to acknowledge that maybe it was a misplay. They're dropping it at center, and Montreal did get a change. So perhaps a missed call by the officials. They do the right thing by calling that back.
Yeah. No, it's good to see they fix a missed call. It's good to see
Yeah.
every once in a while, right?
Yeah, every now and then. So Tampa breaking into the Montreal zone here. This one gets dumped. They're going to cycle it around a little bit here before Montreal gets their stick on it. Are they going to? Yep, they do manage to carry the puck out. This one gets into the Tampa zone, but Tampa does take over the puck. 4 minutes to go here. So we'll see if either team can pot at least one more goal before the end. Maybe Marty St. Louis is starting to look at pulling the goalie at some point to get the extra attacker. How soon do you think that could happen?
Yeah, honestly, I was just about to ask you the same question, Michael. Honestly, I think next time Montreal goes down the ice, Marty's going to be waving at Monty. Let's go.
Yeah. So keeping an eye on the Montreal Canadiens goal. I think they're going to look for a clean zone entry and possession. But no, that gets called down. That's going to go for a face-off. Right now, Montreal's still down by 2. Like we said, their next meeting between these two teams is going to be on New Year's Eve. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Jeannot and Jacky definitely do not like each other. So I'd love to see these two get a bit of a rematch. Maybe we'll even see it in this game, but that was an icing. Montreal wins the faceoff in their own zone, and they're going to break it out into the offensive zone, but Tampa there to collect. Let's see if Montreal can get some possession and maybe an extra attacker at some point here soon.
Yeah, no, it's getting down to the last little bit.
Delayed penalty coming from Montreal. I didn't see what happened, but that's disappointing. That is terrible timing, and that's the undisciplined play that we talked about. Right now, Tampa just killing some time before Montreal finally touches it up. That was a solid few seconds there where they were just passing it around. Marty St. Louis looks very disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like holding, minor penalty. There you go. I think that might do it, to be completely honest. Yeah, there you go. It looks like arms by Jake Evans directly all the way around the Tampa Bay defender there. He's going to be in the box. He cannot do that.
Yeah, nope.
And there you go. We'll see, though. Montreal, maybe they'll get a shorthanded goal here, but I don't know. Tampa Bay's done a good job holding possession on the power play, although Tampa's power play has not been great so far. They are currently only 1 for 5 at the moment. They're taking a timeout too, so maybe they're going for that 5th goal.
Yeah, no, it's looks like they want to at least pot one more goal. They want to make sure they have the best play out there to capitalize on that power play.
Absolutely. So about 3 minutes left. 2 of these minutes, Montreal will be shorthanded. And like we said, let us know in the chat too. The chat's been a little bit quiet here. Let us know your thoughts on what's going to happen before the end of this. Is Montreal going to pot 1 or 2? Is Tampa going to pot 1? Do you think the score is going to stay the same? Let us know. Or if you have any questions or comments, we want to hear what's on your mind. How we doing, Habs fans? How we doing, Lightning fans? We want to hear from you.
Yeah. Any predictions? Let's hear them, because this is going to be exciting last 3 minutes of the game to see how this plays out.
Montreal does win that face-off, and they send it all the way back down. Tompkins there to touch things up. 3 minutes now. Tampa Bay is going to take their time, I think, try and kill some things, kill some time here. I wonder if Tampa Bay might be more focused on just trying to kill out the clock.
Yeah. No, it looks like that way.
Yeah, not sure what Point did there. Maybe a bit of a miscue. Tampa Bay just kind of chilling in that neutral zone.
Yeah, it looks like they want to do like that slingshot pass and chase in, but changed his mind last second.
Yeah. Shot misses from Tampa Bay. Great setup. Oh, Kucherov, but stopped by Montembeault and scores.
Yay.
Bit of a weird play. Montembeault falls onto his backside, taking a seat almost, and a big juicy rebound.
Yeah.
So there you go. Tampa with the power play goal. Great passes, though. You just knew that there was going to be a good setup coming.
Yeah, that one timer by Kucherov. Can't give him those shots. Cannot give him those shots.
Absolutely. I believe that's Nick Paul.
Yeah.
Standing in front. He catches that with his his glove hand and throws it down. Take a look at the chat here. We get Go Canadiens from the Chip family. Yeah, go Habs go. Send it back to you. And will Caulfield get another shot on net, do you think? Nathan, you're the predicting manager.
Well, honestly, now that our PK unit is off the ice, and Caulfield will probably have at least one more shift before the end of the game. I'd say he's going to have one more shot on net. Why not?
Oh, Tampa with another great opportunity almost, but they can't finish that one off. Just note here, that's Nick Paul's second goal on the night. Montreal does do a good job blocking that one, and they'll send it all the other way. Under 2 minutes to go. A little bit of an update from around the NHL. Carolina has beat the Buffalo Sabres in overtime 3-2. Minnesota Wild versus New York Islanders. It's going to be 2-2 in the third period. Detroit Red Wings are down 5-0 to the New York Rangers. And then the Jets currently beating the Blues 3-1, end of the second. So there we go. Approaching 1 minute left. Montreal down 5-2. Shots 33-24 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Andrew's chiming in and saying that this is disappointing. It's embarrassing and it's over. So there you go. Not a great home ice effort by the Montreal Canadiens. 5-2, likely going to be the score here as we finish out the final minute here. Maybe Montreal will get one or two more opportunities to score, but Tampa doing a good job hanging on to possession and just running down the clock at this point. Red Wings trying to do their best to come back. Now it's 5-2 in the third period. Thanks for the update there, Andrew. So there we go. Under 30 seconds left. Do you think anything else is going to happen in this one, Nathan?
Well, honestly, 5-2.
Oh, goal for the Montreal Canadiens. A little bit surprising.
There you go.
He didn't even let you finish. So 5-3. There you go. Let's check out the replay here. I believe that's Dvorak, his second game back from injury. So it looks like he, does a good. Okay. Kind of, I think, a shot that Tompkins will want back at the faceoff dot. That does find the far corner. That's Dvorak that scores. So there you go. Dvorak with his first goal since coming back. First goal of the season. 5-3 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Maybe a little bit too little, too late at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good shot by Dvorak, but like he said, a little bit too late for sure.
But Montreal doing their best to try and get one more, but the time's going to die out. 5-3 is the score. The Tampa Bay Lightning came out to a quick 4-0 lead in that period. And then Montreal stormed back with 2 in the third. Tampa Bay potted one more before Montreal came within 2 once again. 5-3. The Lightning over the Montreal Canadiens. Goal scorers: Kucherov, Nick Paul with 2, Alex Barry-Boulet, Mikey Aiesimont for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then for Montreal, all in the third period. Nick Suzuki on the power play, Michael Pezzetta, and then Christian Dvorak with less than 20 seconds left. So thank you for everyone who tuned in. I'll just take a look at the chat to see if there's anything else. Not familiar with Thomas Novak, but Nathan, you've been great at your predictions so far. I'll let you answer this one.
Thomas Novak, I don't really know much about him, but I would say he's going to get 1.5 shots tonight. I think he plays in the third line, so.
There you go. And Amy coming in with great job. And when's the next one going to be? Well, I'll be here next Tuesday for Montreal versus the Calgary Flames. Kyle from the Hockey Podcast Network is going to join us. We might have one more, but we'll figure out the scheduling pretty soon. But be back here next Tuesday. Come hang out with me in the chat, and we will have a lot of fun once again. Thank you all for tuning in, and big thanks goes out to the Hockey Podcast Network for letting us do this. We've had a ton of fun tonight. If you have any final comments, let us know in the chat. But for now, we'll let you know where you can find all of our Rocket Sports Media content. I know there's some Habs fans here, and once again, Nathan, where can people find all the best Montreal Canadiens content?
You can find all our content at thn.com/Montreal. Also shared on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And we've also can find us at rocketsportsmedia.com.
Rocket Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. At Rocket Sports is the handle where you can find all that content. At Habs Connection, if you want to check out our podcast, it's available on all streaming platforms. So find that Canadiens Connection. You can also find it canadiensconnection.fm. Give me a follow on Twitter at the Spinella. Nathan is pretty active on Facebook there as well, posting in many Montreal Canadiens fan groups. So make sure to interact with him. And appreciate it, Andrew. Who's next week? It's going to be Montreal versus Calgary. So I'll be here next Tuesday. Make sure you tune in for that. Once again, big thanks to everyone for tuning into this. We appreciate all of that. And I guess there you go. Tampa Bay Lightning 5-3 over the Montreal Canadiens. Appreciate you all tuning in, and make sure you give us a follow. But tonight, have a good one. Thank you for tuning in, and we appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Say something.